something else, isn't it?
I'll show you this picture.
He's got that window. You've definitely got that. If you'd have gone to the upper posture, your best, now like beside you, you've got the outside 20, you couldn't
Very much chili stuff.
move very much. You have to pull your bit. That is a second route. That's how
Here comes the hare for the Betfred Eclipse. There they go. They race up towards the first bend. And 4, Jordan Solution tries to make the bend. But 5, Eye on the Storm goes around the outside. Fears of Phonics in trouble. Got checked there as they head down the far side. It's Eye on the Storm by 3.5 lengths here for Mark Wallace. A gap back to 4. Jordan Solutions in second. After these comes 2, Fears of Phonic, and then comes 3, headed on Ellis. But as they come round the final bend, it's a power-packed performance from Eye on the Storm, who picks up the Betfred Eclipse from 2009 and wins in style. Second place, just Jordan Solutions, with Romeo Maldini finishing in 3rd. And away they go, racing up towards the first bend. There's trouble straight away. It's 4, kind of ready, bombed into trap 2, Nabisco, who goes round in front here. 5, Ballymac Williams handy as they come round the first 2 bends. And it's 2, Nabisco leading here from 5, racing in second. Ballymac William, 1, McGone Toots is trying to improve on the inside there. Bandicoot Topoki is last, along with kind of ready as they come round the second last bend. And 2, Nabisco still out in front here by 2.5 lengths from 5. Ballymac William in second place as they race towards home. Nabisco out wide. Ballymac William on the inside, 1 flying at the death. It's going to be trap 2 that wins. Nabisco wins the Eclipse.
It's a brilliant story, Carly, because this dog was retired, wasn't he? We'd accepted that we probably weren't going to see him again.
Well, after the trial that he had at Henlow, I mean, I wasn't there, Martin took him, and I just was absolutely devastated, you know. Couldn't believe it, you know, he's on 3 legs, you know, 6-8 weeks ago, and then he's come back and won the Eclipse. It's just unbelievable, honestly, unbelievable. I've got a bellyache from shouting.
Away they go, racing up towards the first bend. Mill Blink Blink cracks out and leads up early here. Giving chase in second is Boa Paddy, who's trying to get past trap 2, Ballymac William, who pushes him aside. So it's Mill Blink Blink who's going to get away here. Steel City Cup and All England Cup winner. Looks as though he could be on for a 3-timer here. Tudor Prince comes out of the pack to move up into second. After these comes 5, moving back into 3rd, Boa Paddy. But as they come round the final bend, it's Mill Blink Blink with a 2.5 length leader. But Tudor Prince, Mill Blink Blink will make hold to win the Betfred Eclipse from 2011 and beats trap 4, Tudor Prince in second, and 5, Boa Paddy back in 3rd. This is the Betfred Eclipse Stakes, and away they go, and running up towards the first bend. Already a little bit of trouble as they roar to the bend, and it's going to be Droopy's Buick who gets round in front. Bubbly Bluebird done no favours. 5 around the outside. Tinwall Bass for Lawrence Tuffin. The local runner hits the front and quickens on by 2 lengths from Droopy's Buick back in second. Bubbly Bluebird in 3rd as they come around the last 2 bends then for the Betfred Eclipse, and Tinwall Bass taken on again by Droopy's Buick, who's brave. He's coming back for more towards the winning line. It's nothing between them. Droopy's Buick has won the Betfred Eclipse final for Jimmy Wright, winning and beating Tinwall Bass coming from off the pace. What a huge run from Droopy's Buick.
Racing away, great start, Droopy's Expert in the middle of the pack, and Bubbly Bluebird is pacing up, and Bubbly Bluebird up the inside, just about makes the bend, gets hampered a little bit though, and the Rotor's Wildcat now goes on. Bubbly Bluebird has to chase, then Bruiser's Bullet to Droopy's Expert, Calico Blackjack and Calico Ranger will have to be Westmead Horse to win from there. DeRota's Wildcat, Bubbly Bluebird trying again, DeRota's Wildcat, Bubbly Bluebird, DeRota's Wildcat, Bubbly Bluebird, DeRota's Wildcat, and Bubbly Bluebird in an absolute corker for the Betfred Eclipse Stakes.
Away for the Eclipse final, then all eyes on the centre. 2 runners here. Rhoda's Wildcat in the white leads up as they go towards the turn. Into second place then is now Droopy's Verve, the market rival, as they go down the far side. They're getting away from Swift Taxman. Rhoda's Wildcat, the Derby champ, leads by 3. Droopy's Verve in second place. Let's see what Verve has got as they go down towards the home turn in the Eclipse final. Rhoda's Wildcat still on top. Droopy's Verve is really getting into it now, laying down a challenge on the near side. Rhoda's Wildcat finding plenty though. Up to the line. Rhoda's Wildcat has won the Eclipse final.
He's an absolute superstar, isn't he? Never lose faith in this boy. He's absolutely fantastic. He does all the work for you. I'm actually more nervous tonight than I was for the Derby final, but that was fantastic.
I mean, how does he do it? He just gets out, he battles the class, the tenacity, just pure class.
He's staying this 500 much stronger than last year. If you remember, he got nobbled on the line last year, but he kicked again when he felt Verve sort of coming into his space. So yeah, I was so delighted.
And that smile's there again, Donna.
Yeah, he'll be there for a little while longer as well. Oh, brilliant, thank you.
Congratulations, I'll see you on the podium.
Cheers, thank you, Jason.
Off on racing, good start from trap 3. Ice on Fire, sensational from the boxes, sensational to the corner. He's away and gone, the favourite. He's out in front, the Puppy Classic winner, All England Cup winner. He's streaks clear, looking to add another big title to his name. Into the third corner, he's in splendid isolation, the favourite. Ice on Fire for Newcastle trainer Jimmy Fennick, away and gone. Out in front in splendid isolation, away and gone. Ice on Fire, simply sensational. Makes all in the Carling Eclipse final. Tight the second. Ice on Fire, the odds-on favourite. Simply sensational.
What an absolute superstar. He really was. You're being congratulated by everybody else, but wow, he just keeps on producing more and more.
He does. I just can't think of the word to describe him, can I? He's just had all the words spoken about him, and he just does it. I'm speechless, to be honest.
Welcome to Gone to the Dogs Live, brought to you by Star Sports. We are here at Nottingham Greyhound Stadium for the £20,000 Premier Greyhound Racing Eclipse final. That is, of course, at just after 9 o'clock at 9:11. Mark your card. Delighted to say once again as well that my partner in crime this evening is Mr. Jonathan Hobbs. Hobbsy, how are you doing?
I'm okay, yeah, in good form. Looking forward to tonight. It's a different animal, I think, this one. This is our third show. We had Yarmouth. We had Romford, of course, and then we've got a Monday night at Nottingham. But what a race in store, the Premier Greyhound Racing Eclipse. Patrick Janssens, that man has got a very strong hand.
Yes, he does. And we'll be talking to Patrick later on in the show. But we have also got plenty of people in the restaurant that you'll recognise. We've got Jimmy Fennick.
Yep.
We've had Kevin Hutton. We've got plenty of other people that you can see.
Won the Eclipse a couple of years back. That is team Colin Wilton, Sambar Kian. So the locals are in the house, which is great. And you know, while we've lost the likes of Droopy's Plunge and Barntick Bear weren't in the Eclipse final as we perhaps expected them to be, although that would have given Patrick Janssens 5 runners. Hey. But nevertheless, local interest, very important.
Now, we've got plenty of racing tonight. Of course, we start on race 5 of the Nottingham card with the Arc Ladies 480-metre trophy final. We've got the Gone to the Dogs Live Stakes. We've actually got 4 finals tonight because we've got the Arc Maiden Standard Trophy at 8:36, the Premier Greyhound Racing Eclipse, of course, at 9:11, and just after that, we've got the Arc Gents 480-metre trophy. We've also got a couple of non-runners, I believe, as well, Hobbsy, in the first couple of races.
We certainly have. So pens at the ready. We are talking Trap 5, Drombeg Magic Doesn't Go. That will be vacant in the 7:44. Our first race, the Arc Ladies 480-metre trophy, with a subheading subscribe to Gone to the Dogs on YouTube Stakes. Make sure you do that. And Black Label Sally Doesn't Go in Trap 1 in the 8:01 as well. And that is the Gone to the Dogs Live Stakes. They've been good to us.
They have indeed. Right, we have got not just myself and Hobbsy roaming around, but we've also got in the betting ring, it's the best comedy duo that Greyhound Racing's seen in a while, Gary Wiltshire and Joe Keneally.
Thank you, Danny, and good evening, everybody, wherever you're watching. And go, what a night we've got in store. We're back again. Laura Lenardi, back for round 3. Great night, hasn't it?
We've got the pantomime season come. We've got a dog running tonight called Tricky Cinderella. And I think she'll win. I don't know about anybody. That's nearly one of my naps of the night, Cinderella.
She was going to be my nap. She's a little bit short now. One's out of the race. She's odds on. She was odds against earlier. She was going to be my nap. We've changed that. But what a Eclipse final we've got.
Card, yeah, fantastic card, Joe. Wiki Ned. We was talking earlier, it's going to be round about even money, best price in the village, but me and Joe thinks it'll drift near the off, and we thinks it'll be about 11 or 8, 5 or 11 or 8 chance of it. Just had a word with most of the odds traders in the offices all round, and they haven't seen many big bets yet, but there's plenty of time, don't worry. And if there is any big bets reported all over the industry, you'll get it here first on the Gone to the Dogs Live.
You certainly will. And Star Sports, fantastic offer. They are willing to lose £1,000 any ground, so they're going to lay £1,000 Star Sports at any ground tonight on the card. Fantastic offer, isn't it, for punters?
Yeah, well, it's like Graham Racing. You know, we've got to get people here to get to the track tonight. You know, it's the Eclipse Stakes. It's free admission here at Nottingham. and it's a very, very small crowd, and there should be a large crowd here, Joe. And we'll get them back. Don't worry, we will get the punters back to the track. I can assure you. And I've got something later to tell you how we're going to get the punters back to the track.
There we go, Danny. We'll hear it later on.
Oh, leaving us on a bit of a cliffhanger there is Gary. Now, we've also got plenty of people roaming around the stadium as well. And our next member of the team is Emily Wallace.
Thank you, Danny. Yes, really, really looking forward to tonight's racing. Great night's racing and a really, really classy Eclipse final. Very pleased to be standing next to Jason Beresford. Jason, happy to be a part of the team tonight?
Very, very happy indeed, Emily. More happy, obviously, being next to you. It's just like when I was younger. I'm late to the party, but unlike when I was younger, I've actually been invited to the party.
It's a little bit chilly out tonight. You don't look particularly wrapped up.
Now, you're the one, you've been ill, haven't you? So I'm calling all those up there in the ivory tower. We need a brandy down here. Would you like one as well?
No, I'm professional.
But it is going to be wonderful. The Eclipse has always been one of my favourite races, one of the best races in the last 20 years. Bubbly Bluebird beating Dorothy's Wildcat and Bruiser's Bullet as well. Anything like that tonight, and we're in for an absolute treat.
It's definitely going to be a great night's racing. We'll be keeping warm by running around, getting plenty of pre- and post-race interviews.
I'm really surprised that Jason's not got a coat, because you definitely need one at Nottingham this evening. Now, we have got one final member of the team, possibly one of the most important as well. It's Mr. Darryl Williams.
Hello, Danny. A very good evening. Welcome to the commentary position here tonight. And as Jason was saying, the Eclipse, the Premier Greyhound race, the Eclipse, is one of the best races of the year because we are so close to the end of the year. It often determines lots of outcomes, lots of end-of-season awards. And, it's been a great race for finding the Greyhound of the Year. So often in recent years, the Greyhound of the Year has won this race en route to picking up that prize. And we've got a potential candidate, a big candidate, perhaps already, many would say, in Wiki Ned tonight in the big final. Now, we'd love you to support the programme. We'd love you to support our sponsors, Star Sports, this evening. If you don't already have a Star Sports account, here is a chance to open an account and get 50% back as a free bet. All you need to do is use the promo code. I did practice it earlier. It's GTTD, and you'll get 50% back as a free bet with your first wager if that bet loses.
Now, we have got our big race of the day coming up, of course, just after 9 o'clock. Wiki Ned got a bit of a horror draw in 5. Romeo Command. Does it look set up for him?
Potentially so. I mean, he's a fantastic greyhound, came back from injury, been trained to the minute by Patrick. I mean, they absolutely adore Romeo Command. Of course, Patrick's got 3 runners. Dave Firmager, owner and breeder, has a couple of runners, Romeo Steele and Romeo Command. I just think he's got a great draw against the fence. But having said all that, he's got enough class, Wiki Ned. I remember Eye on the Storm coming out of track 5, absolutely banging out the boxes to win the Eclipse, and he could do exactly that. He's got pace outside of clear with Slick Sentinel. He's got pace inside with Romeo Steele. And if he gets on the shoulders of anything, I think that back straight pace of his is sensational. But so too is Romeo Command. He's a canny sort, Romeo Command. Brilliant strike rate. I think he's one of the best open races we've seen in many years. So he might just be drawn to perfection. But either way, this is one of the the major 4-bend races of the year, and I think, as Darryl has already sort of pointed out, there are Greyhound of the Year connotations, and whether you're in Wiki Ned's camp, you're in Druid Say Go's camp, or Droopy's Clues camp, and even March on Freddie, who of course acquitted himself really well in the Irish Derby. If Greyhound was going to come back and win one of the major events, whether it be the Eclipse, the Coral Olympic, or one or 2 others, then they're going to put themselves in the mix. So we're not quite going to hand that trophy over yet.
Just yet. No, we'll see if Wiki Ned can do the business later on at 11 minutes past 9. Now, we have got a crack team, so let's have a look and see what our best bets of the night are. I am with Trap 5 in the 8.19, Ryoka Rasheen in the sprint. I don't usually go for a sprinter, but I really, really like this lad. I think he's going to bang out and make all. We've got Hobbsy with Trap 4 Thor Odinson in the 9.46. Emily, Ballymac John going with one of the kennel. Strength at 8.54. Joe, though, is going paw to paw with Emily and Stone Park Wes in Trap 5. Then we've got a trio of the Red Jackets. We've got Gary Wiltshire in the 8.36 going with Magical Bertie. Darryl has napped Romeo Command in the big one at 9.11. And Jason also with Magical Bertie. So that might be one of the better bets of the night, Magical Bertie. Now we have got our first race coming up, and it is at 7:44. So I think we can head back to Darrell.
Yeah, it's good to look at those selections, Danny, isn't it? And interesting that most of us have gone for greyhounds in 1 and 5. They've both had 2 winners already tonight. In fact, the first race here, all graded racing before we came on air, we had a dead heat between 1 and 5. Well, the red jacket here in the ladies' final is being carried by Independent Lady for Lynn Cook, who was one of the heat winners. However, it was Tricky's Matilda in trap 2 for Robert Holt. He could have a very good start to the night. Gary's already touched upon Tricky's Cinderella in the next, and Tricky's Matilda was the fastest heat winner. And bear in mind, she was off for a long time. Swift Serena in 3 for Terry Munslow is likely to be one of the bigger price runners. Crafty Pardiso for Colin Wilton, who's got, of course, a finalist in the Eclipse later in 4. 5 is vacant, as we heard. Drombeg Magic doesn't go, and Butler's Lane, for the very first time in her career, will sport the 6 coats.
So just the 5 going to post for our first race of the evening here on Gone to the Dogs Live, brought to you by Star Sports. And there you can see they're just about getting ready in the kennelling area. Then they'll come out of that little green gate and parade in front of the Nottingham Blue podium. So looking forward to seeing the 5 ladies going to post for our first, which is the ARC Ladies 480-metre trophy final. £500 and a trophy to the winner. Who did we fancy here, Hobbsy?
Well, I've actually gone with the Independent Lady on the inside, but the market very much dominated by Tricky's Matilda and Crafty Pardiso. And Crafty Pardiso, of course, for Colin Wilton with the finalists in the big race. So, you know, the locals here, we're certainly looking for maybe Colin to strike early doors, and then looking ahead to the final will be a bonus, wouldn't it? But I do think that Independent Lady, I thought she ran so well last week for Lynn Cook, came off the pace to beat Drombeg Magic, who unfortunately is not going to be in the final. That trap is vacant, trap 5, but I thought she just had an ace draw for Lynn and part owner Lorraine Sams.
And she's in good form at the moment as well, looking for a 4-timer. She's won an A2, she's won a minor open, she won the heat last week as well. Nice price though, 7-2. I was expecting her to be shorter than Tricky's Matilda just on the draw, but then you look at the times that they recorded last week, there's 28 spots between them, and Tricky's Matilda did have that slight bit of trouble as well.
And Lorraine Sams, of course, partner Paul Lawrence, they were both out in Shelbourne Park at the weekend. We're going to catch up with all the big races, of course, with the Ball Sports Irish Derby at the weekend. Incredibly, one of our team was there. In fact, a couple of the team, I think, were there, including Darrell Williams. Does he sound good?
I think
all
so.
That Guinness, and he's just recovered so well. He's a machine, the boy.
Yes, he is. Now we've got a favourite in joints now, 2 and 4 actually. Tricky's Matilda and Crafty Pardiso at 11-8 as they just come out on parade. So here is trap 1, Independent Lady, owned by Mrs Holmes and Miss Sams, and Lynn Cook is the trainer.
Tricky's Matilda running out of trap 2 for owner trainer Robert Holt. He's got 1 or 2 runners this evening, and 11-8 in the market with joint favourites now, 2 and 4.
Then we get trap 3, Swift Serena for Mrs Holden and Terry Munslow, and she is a massive price, 16-1 to win in the white jacket.
Yep, Colin Wilton's Greyhound 4. Mr. Wheatley is Crafty Pardiso running out of trap 4. Show good early pace in the heats, ultimately caught by Tricky's Matilda, looking to go 1 better.
And trap 6 at Butler's Lane, who's 2 from 7 so far, owned and trained by Barry Denby. Now I think we can head back once again to the betting ring.
Thanks, Danny. Yeah, this is a bit of a matchup on paper. Gal 2 and 4, Tricky's Matilda 4, Crafty Paradiso. What do you think?
Yeah, the bookies put the 4 dog in as favourite first show. They put it in at 11-10. You can get a bit of 6-4 now, the 4 dog. All the money's been for the 2 dog here, Tricky's Matilda. Just got to mention the Bognor Regis Bowls Club are watching tonight. Wonder if they're watching because Mr. Barrowford's back on the telly. They said it's... Where's he been? Where's he been, our Jason? So you got the Bognor Regis Bowls Club watching you, Jason, as well. I think the 2 dog will lead all the way here, to be true with you, Joe. But it's a race, only 5 dog race. But whoever leads could win.
Yeah, as long as she clears Independent Lady on her inside.
Would it clear?
I think she will, yeah. I think she'll clear Independent Lady. If she does, I can see the same result as last week, catching 4, Crafty Paradiso. But... we've seen the tips, Gal, from the start of the night, haven't we? There's no 1-3 shot in here for Danny Jackson to put up. That's shocking, isn't it?
Queenie, what are you doing? That means you've got to have £3 on to win £1. Now, you're a wealthy lady. What's £1 going to do for you, Queenie? No, Queenie, we want a big price one from you. Get us bigger one later on.
She's a sentimental tipster.
Sentimental, you know, but sentimental don't get you ready, Joe, does it, Danny?
No, and that is the problem that I have. I've not had a winner for a while, so I thought I'd go with what might be
safe.
A bit of a penalty kick.
But great to mention Jason, you know.
Yes.
everyone loved him on RPG TV. Good to see him back. He's great fun, and he absolutely loves what he's doing. So good to be a member of the team.
Certainly is good to have Jason Barrisford back in the building. Well, actually, we've chucked him outside, but there we go. We're almost ready for the first here, and we've got best turned out as Trap 1 Independent Lady. So sponsored once again by Time Greyhound Nutrition. £50 will go to the kennel hand of Independent Lady as we head back to our commentator.
Thank you very much, Danny. They're all set for race 1 for us. It is the Art Ladies 480 trophy. They're checked by the starter. Interesting, the market early this morning was all about Tricky's Matilda, who was, well, half the price of Crafty Paradiso. 2's the 4 and evens Trap 2, but now they're very close together in the market. Here comes the bunny, then it's the ladies, and away they go, and 4. Crafty Paradiso's got plenty of pace up to the corner from Swift Serena on the inside. 1 was shorter room, Independent Lady. 2's right out the back, Tricky's Matilda. Up in the third goes Butler's Lane. They run down the far side. Crafty Paradiso by 3 lengths. Swift Serena in second place. Gap back then to 6, Butler's Lane. They come towards home. Crafty Paradiso's lead is being reduced. It's a length and a half now. Swift Serena in the white on the far side. Crafty Paradiso. Swift Serena the far side. Tricky's Matilda. But Crafty Paradiso finds more and sees away Tricky's Matilda. Back in third, 3, Swift Serena.
4, Crafty Paradiso wins our first race here on Gone to the Dogs Live, takes home the £500 and a trophy for the Arc Ladies 480-metre trophy final. Beats Trap 2, Tricky's Matilda, who was running on late, and 3, Swift Serena, who really did lay it down to Crafty Paradiso throughout the race, was third. But is this a sign of things to come with Colin Wilton taking our first race?
Hey, look, anything else is a bonus, isn't it? They've won the first race that we're going to show tonight, the Art Ladies 480-metre trophy, in really good style. Well done to Crafty Paradiso, who's won 4. Owner Mr. Wheatley, and they'll be delighted. Saw the early pace, of course, in the heats, and she's managed on this occasion to get out and get that first bend lead, cutting across Trap 3 and away and gone. Independent Lady, just to mention once again, was the best turned out. Well done to Paul Cowdrill. No luck in the race down the far side. It's all about Trap 4. Crafty Paradiso going on and holding Swift Serena to the line.
Trap 4, Crafty Paradiso makes it 8 from 18 in her career and takes out the first race that we're showing here on Gone to the Dogs Live. You can see Tricky's Matilda so full of running in the final stages. She's picked up second place, and here is the head-on. You can see Crafty Paradiso hits the sand running, and she does edge over ever so slightly, but 1 and 2 both coming out of their racing lanes, really.
Well, they certainly did. 6 had plenty of space, of course, with the non-runner next door, but 4 showed terrific speed into the first bend. Bitch, who's got very good strike rate. That's now 8 wins from 18 starts, and you know, fantastic shots there from the team here on Gone to the Dogs on this Premier Greyhound Racing Eclipse final night, and the first final has gone to a locally trained runner. They'll be delighted.
Fantastic to see the head-ons as well. I love the head-on view, especially when it comes to the big competitions as well, because you can see, you know, where everybody is, and you know, for the derby and things like that, you can see going forwards when the draws come out and stuff like that. I think it's crucial.
And it's a great running track as well. Most people watching tonight will know about Nottingham. They staged the derby for a couple of years, of course, during the COVID times and post Toaster Mark 1. Select Stakes every year, one of the biggest meetings of the year in bank holiday Monday in August, along with the Puppy Classic. There's the SP, decent enough price in the end.
Darryl, what's the result?
Let's confirm it for you then, Danny. The Art Ladies 480 trophy final went to Crafty Paradiso, returning at 15-8 there. Beat Trap 2, Tricky's Matilda, who was the even money favourite, and Swift Serena back in third at 22-1. We've talked about Colin Wilton's runner in the final later on, of course, in the Eclipse final. He's the busiest trainer on the card tonight. He's got 3 other runners, including Tens On, who's got a bit of a chance later as well.
Here comes the hare for the Betfred Eclipse. There they go. They race up towards the first bend. And 4, Jordan Solution tries to make the bend. But 5, Eye on the Storm goes around the outside. Fears of Phonics in trouble. Got checked there as they head down the far side. It's Eye on the Storm by 3.5 lengths here for Mark Wallace. A gap back to 4. Jordan Solutions in second. After these comes 2, Fears of Phonic, and then comes 3, headed on Ellis. But as they come round the final bend, it's a power-packed performance from Eye on the Storm, who picks up the Bedford Eclipse for 2009 and wins in style. Second place, just Jordan Solutions, with Romeo Maldini finishing in third.
I do love rolling round the clock and watching the classics. Absolutely superb. Now, there is the presentation of our first race that we're covering here on Gone to the Dogs Live. The Arc Ladies Trophy has gone the way of Track 4, Crafty Podiso, owned by Mr. Wheatley, trained by Colin Wilton. And there she is. Superb to see. Plenty of people in the... on the podium. And just to say as well, we watched Eye on the Storm win the Classic there at 2009, hoping that Wiki Ned, I want Wiki Ned to win later on. I'm hoping he can do an Eye on the Storm and bolt out from 5. Right, let's go to Jason.
A brilliant winner of the Arc Ladies 480-metre trophy, Crafty Paradiso. I'm going to get amongst the scrum and come round to the winning trainer, first of all. Colin Wilton, I was planning on talking to you later on, but it's come early.
Yeah, very pleased with that run. Excellent.
And she's all about the early, isn't it? When she gets away, something special.
Yeah, she knows this track well. She's been really good for us. Mark the owners there. I think that's the 9th win out of 20 races, and she's won at 3 different tracks. So she's done. This time last year, she came really good. This time last year, she were in the Puppy Oaks final down at Toaster, and got beat by Queen Dusty, but which is no shame. So
I believe the scientific expression is not so shabby.
No, absolutely. Fantastic.
And obviously you've got lots of runners on the card, but Kian, the big one.
Yeah, Kian takes his chance later on, yeah. To be honest, I think the final was last week for us in that one. But he's in the race there, and you never know.
I just have a quick word with Mark, the owner. Mark, could I have a quick word? I've been told you're very shy. But don't worry, that makes 2 of us, but we know how hard this game is. When you get a bitch like that, something special.
Yeah, very, very nice. Very nice indeed. Colin and the team's done ever so well with her. Really well.
And I must say, that's the charming thing about seeing you all together. I've seen upstairs as well. You really are a team, aren't you?
It is a good team kennel. Very good team kennel.
Well, congratulations. Let's hope for further success.
Thank you.
Kevin Hutton runs Antigua Kestrel in our Eclipse final tonight. Kevin hasn't had many races in the UK so far. If you firstly just explain a bit about him, because he's had a couple of issues.
He's had a lot of issues, this dog. Yeah, he was purchased by Nick and Amanda Gill originally from Limerick. Had a very, very fast run during the Concurby. And then he came over to us once he was knocked out of that competition. And the plan was to go for the English Derby, but unfortunately...
Well, we will grab Kev Hutton later on. I think the crowd were drowning him out there, Hopsy.
Well, he's quite tall, isn't he? So, you know...
I think she was trying to reach up.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So we'll sort that out, no problem, folks. We shall be back to Kevin.
We will be back. So we've got plenty coming up on the show. Of course, the big one is at 9:11. We are going to be playing some of those classics. It'll be great to hear, actually. Matt Chapman, I think, will be calling one of them home, which is great.
Of going down to the previous competitions. I mean, I think we had Richard Halls on one of them on our last show, didn't we? You know, and Matt Chapman as well, which is fantastic. And they love doing it as well.
They do. Now, we've got the betting in for the big one. Let's see how they price up. Trap 1, Romeo Command for Patrick Janssens, 3-1. Trap 2, Romeo Steele, also for Patrick at 4s. Antigua Kestrel in Trap 3 is for Kevin Hutton at 9-1. Samba Kian in Trap 4 for Colin Wilton, who's had our first winner at 20s. Trap 5, Wiki Ned for Jimmy Fennick at 10-11. And our third Patrick Janssens runner, Trap 6, Slick Sentinel, is at 8-1. Now we're going to have a spin through the semi-finals from last week, and we can watch Romeo Steele in action. The slightly different weather this week, Hobbsy.
I know, they did very well to get the meeting through without incident. I mean, in fact, the track ran really, really well. I mean, it looked worse than it actually was, I think, for the runners. Anyway, and of course, the ground in Trap 4 with that blinding early speed. Romeo Steele took off. He really impressed me during the Kent Derby. And from 2 to 3, absolutely exceptional. He's going to go on and land the spoils from Slick Sentinel. And of course, I think it was a Patrick Janssens 1, 2, 3 in this, or was a little bit later on, but a cracking effort from I think, Droopy's Plunge flying, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed. Now we've got to have a look at Wiki Ned's semi-final as well. He beat Antigua Kestrel, if I could get my words out, by 3 parts of a length here. You're looking at 1 and 5.
different animal here, isn't it? In trap 1, he's got trap 5 tonight. Interesting, but he's got such a great will to win. I mean, he's right from the start. He's been absolutely adored by connections. Neil McGregor and Jimmy Fennick, of course, had great success between the pair of them with Belmore Sally. But right from the start, those electric trials at Sheffield and thereafter, you know, as DW said, you know, those 3 Category 1 successes. I think it was another success, of course, Derby final night at Toaster. And he's run really well here. Fair play to Antigua Kestrel, who for me is very much an up-and-comer. It'd be interesting to hear from Kevin about Antigua Kestrel, because he's very much not out of this. And here's a grand campaigner, Romeo Command. Any draw seems to come alike to him. Some say he's not actually his best from the trap 1. I think it'll work out well for him tonight, but he rails off the second bend here and just drifts off going into that third bend. But again, that pace from 2 to 3, absolutely exceptional. And fair play to Samba Kian, who's going to grab second place and into the final.
I mean, Romeo Command, you look at his strike rate, 33 wins and 10 second places in 51 starts. That is something sensational. I mean, I love stats, absolutely love them. So 33 from 51 is phenomenal. Right, we're going to head back to the betting ring. Joe, what have you got?
Yeah, it's a fantastic final, Danny, as we were mentioning earlier. And Gal, it's, look, 10 to 11. I'd want to be against Wickined at 10 to 11. He's your favourite. What about yourself?
I want to be with you. I want to be against it. But I've just had Eddie Dark on, who's our top trader, and he told me they've laid 1,100 to win 10. So someone's betted the 11 to 10 on. So we thought it'd be odds against. So we might be wrong there, Joe. But you know, everyone wants it. I think every trader in the country want to get Wiki Ned. Because, like, I know the boys from Presbeth, they've done their absolutes on it when it won the still sitting out to pay another 10 grand bonus. So Cole said, I want to get the money back somehow. But they ain't going odds against. It's even money maximum 10 to 11. You know, I think it's one of them dogs that if he gets a clear run, I think he's a champion. You know what I mean? And these champions do win, don't they, Joe? But it's a good final. You know, been money for the bottom-o. You know, they put that in early today at 12 to 1. The dog you fancy. I don't think you'll get bigger than 8 to 1 now, Slick. The dog in 6. And you know, if 5's going to come out, 5 move to the inside. 6 is, you know, it's like sitting next to me on an aeroplane. Ain't got no room, trap 4. So I think the 6 dog could be away and gone on the outside. That's the dog for money. But all the mums and dads and nans and granddads are having their 5ers on the 6 dog at double figures. That's 8 to 1 now. And the favourite, as I said, they laid 1,100 to 10 on it, he just said. Would there be any more money? I still want to be against Wiki Ned. I'm sorry. You know, I think it's no value.
I'm against Wiki Ned as well. As good as he is, Slick Centino for me. 8 to 1, 12 to 1. I didn't know, but it's too big.
Yeah, Wiki Ned is the one I'm going with because I need some winners. But what does our commentator, Darryl Williams, think of the big one?
Well, I've napped Romo Command, Danny, so I'm guessing I'm all over the red dog. Of course, got a brilliant record here at Nottingham. British Breeder Stakes winners last year, 6 from 15 in red as well. I think 6 from 11 here, so loves the place. Look, Romeo still's got plenty of early. Could be an issue to command early doors. But look, I agree with what Gary's saying down there with Wiki Ned. Look, if he wins, he's got to be the best, hasn't he, tonight, which he's got the ability to do, but you've got to take a short price if you're going to find out. Let us move on and have a look at the lineup for the next race. This is our second live race. It is the Super Stayers. It is the Gone to the Dogs live stakes. And we go here without 2 of them now. Just seeing Platinum B's gone as well. So wasn't aware of that, but Platinum B is now a non-runner as well. We knew about Black Label Sally. So we're down to 4. And Val Bluebell, who won, of course, the Select Stayers back in the summer. Nobody gave her a chance that day. Big winner for Jill Llewellyn on that occasion. Trap 4 is Slaker's Cath for Peter Harnden, who's up in distance. Tricky Cinderella. Look, to be fair, she doesn't win many. She's won only one of her last 17, but she is odds on. And the unexposed Michaela's Dream at 11 to 1 in Trap 6.
Yeah, just down the car, you got 11 to 10 Trap 2 Vale Bluebell. You got 12 to 1 Slaker's Cath, 4 to 6 favourite Tricky Cinderella, and 10 to 1 Michaela's Dream is 6. Go on with 5. This was going to be my nap, but I think 4 to 6 in a 4-dog race, isn't a bad price. What about yourself?
The only thing is, Joe, this 5 dog's been odds on the last 3 runs. Now, you know, bookies like to lay a short one. If you followed the 5 dog, you know, you'll be going in the pawnbrokers trying to pawn a bit of jewellery. You know, you've done your money 3 times at odds on, and you're still coming back again here. You know, 6 to 4, and I thought she'd win Tricky Cinderella, but I haven't burnt my fingers the last 3 runs with it. Just looking at the card, you want to be with it. And just had a little text from a good judge, and I mean a good judge in the dog down, Uncle Lester we call him, and he said to me, Gal, you're going on about the 5 dog in the final. He said Nottingham the last 2 weeks has been favouring the inside traps. He said, and the 3 dogs overpriced for the final, and he said the 5 dog, Wiki Ned, you know, it's been rousing, you know, Joe, look, you've been watching the semis and the first rounds and everything, but it's got to lead Wiki Ned. If he don't lead round the first bend, I can't see him coming from behind, can you?
Depends what he turns behind. If he turns behind Romeo Steele, he'd have every chance.
How about if he turns behind the 3 dog or 6?
No chance.
No chance. No chance. The governor said no chance with Wiki. Oh, Wiki Ned. I want to be against Wiki Ned. I want to be against it.
Against Wiki Ned in that, I'm with Tricky Cinderella.
Yeah, I'll
here.
be with Cinderella. It's at Christmas time. Danny likes a pantomime, don't you, Dan?
Yes, I do. I do like a pantomime. Tricky Cinderella is the one for both Gow and Joe down. I almost forgot who we had down there. And Joe, 4-5, 11-10 for Vale Bluebell. Now, I was here on Select Stayers night. I called her home. She was a very popular winner for Jill Llewellyn, and she's a really nice type as well. She's a daughter of Broadstrand Bono. I love the Broadstrand Bono progeny. They're really strong finishers. And she's got an acre of room now with 1 and 3 both defecting from the race. So I did think, just if you were going to take one of the two, I'd be with Vale Bluebell all day long.
Well, she won the Select Stayers here in great style, of course. You know, it was a real boon for local trainer Jill Llewellyn, and has got to have a massive chance here, of course. The betting suggests that the runners at the track, so it's gone to the Dogs Live Stakes. I can tell you that the Time Greyhound Nutrition Best Turned Out Award goes to Trap 6, Michaela's Dream. Well done to all concerned, trained by Philip Wilson. And I can tell you, the parader, kennel hand as such, is Philip White. So well done. He takes away a nice envelope with 50 quid in cash of each of the races tonight. So kennel hands, paraders, trainers, etc. For the best turned out with a little bit of a bonus.
And our thanks once again to Time Greyhound Nutrition for sponsoring each of the open races Best Turned Out Greyhounds. They are about to head into the boxes here for our latest race on Gone to the Dogs, brought to you by Star Sport.
And just to say thank you very much to everybody who's got involved in the tipping competition, which is on the WhatsApp channel. Try to join that on Gone to the Dogs, and if a little bit like me, just ask the kids how you do it. Got about 340 people, I think, battling away. 65 of them were on the first winner. Good luck in the second race.
Let's head to Darryl.
Thank you very much, Danny. The loading is complete, isn't it, for the Gone to the Dogs Live Stakes over the 7:30. Just the 4 of them here without Black Label, Sally and Platinum Bee. And they're all ladies again. We had a ladies race for the first. They just also happen to be ladies here. And Tricky Cinderella in 5 will go off favourite over Val Bluebell in Trap 2. The hare is at the boxes, and it's 4. Suleika's Kath, who got away well. Val Bluebell's on the inside now. Tricky Cinderella in the orange is just trying to manoeuvre a run round the outsiders. 2 got shuffled back. 6 disputing last place, Michaela's Dream. So down the straight they come with a lap to run. Suleika's Kath in front for Peter Harnden. Leads by about a length. Val Bluebell has once again regained second place. Now it is trying to challenge. 2 lengths away. Michaela's Dream the inside. Tricky Cinderella on the outside. The favourite is last of the pack as they run down the far side. Suleika's Kath still leads the way. Val Bluebell about to make the bid now. They've shot away from Michaela's Dream. Here's the home turn. Suleika Kath by a length. Val Bluebell at the moment can't get by. They're down the straight. Suleika's Kath keeps on finding. Val Bluebell one last chance. They go to the line. Suleika Kath. Val Bluebell ran it down right on the line. Val Bluebell ran down Suleika's Kath. They were clear of Michaela's Dream in 3rd.
What a superb run there from Vale Bluebell. She is a superstar here at Nottingham. She's won the Select Stayers earlier on in the year. She's now won the Gone to the Dogs Live Stakes over 730 metres. She was just letting Suleika's Kath do all the hard work out in front, and she's come and nailed her on the line. Vale Bluebell, Jill Llewellyn will be chuffed as mint balls, I think. Hobbsy?
She's a real star here. You know, we mentioned about the big race here on Bank Holiday Monday. You know, the Puppy Classic was won by March On Freddie. And, of course, the Select Stayers went to the ground, who you can see here running out of Trap 2. Got itself into a not great position going into that first bend, but as 5 just drifted off there, has Suleika's Kath in her sights. Fair play to Peter Harden's Greyhound, has run an absolute stormer off the front. She really didn't want to give an inch. And it was just in that, I think, pretty much the dying strides where just the battling performance of Vale Bluebell has got up to land the spoils. Well done to owner-trainer Jill Llewellyn.
Superb performance from Vale Bluebell, and this is what I mean about the Broadstrand Bono progeny as well. They are really, really strong in a finish, and she's come and nailed Saleka's Cath late doors and just gets up by about a head in the end. It was absolutely sensational for Vale Bluebell. And here's the head-on. We can see 4 dogs exiting the boxes, and it looks like everybody's pretty much kept to their racing lines.
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty of room there. 4-runner race, late withdrawal, Platinum B. If I think you're on the 3, I think automatically going on the favourite here in the tipping competition. But Julia Welling's Vale Bluebell proving a star once again. And these are absolutely priceless. The punters love it. Probably less important in the 7:30 race, but certainly when it gets to the 4-bend race and seeing that action into the first bend, superb.
Trap 2, Vale Bluebell, you could see her there. She just got snagged up in a little bit of trouble, but she's such a strong greyhound that she's managed to win anyway. There's Dave, the general manager of Nottingham. I think he's had a slightly stressful day, but here is the shots of the podium. We're waiting for the greyhound Vale Bluebell to head towards the winning podium. Here is the replay once again. We've got Vale Bluebell just on the inside here of Saleka's Cath. Tricky Cinderella actually put herself in a good position around the opening corners, but she's just not quite shown the same pizzazz as she has done in the past. And Saleka's Cath, she's done a superb run here and, made most of the running with Vale Bluebell always keeping her in her sights.
Absolutely, yeah. They were strung out down the far side. It was just a 2-runner affair thereafter, and ultimately it was the stamina of Vale Bluebell that's going to come through to land the spoils. And the locals going to be pretty buoyant, aren't they, after, of course, the success of Crafty Padiso for Colin Wilton in the first. Jill Llewellyn landing the spoils in the second race, our second race, the Gone to the Dogs Live Stakes.
Yeah, brilliant finish, wasn't it? Particularly those on Vale Bluebell, who's won it. So, Jill Llewellyn, it's another local winner, isn't it? The locals dominating in the first couple of races. 11-10, the winner, Saleka's Cath, at 11-1 in second. Michaela's Dream back in third. Just to hop back to the previous race, of course, Crafty Pardiso clocking 28.59. That's the 4th fastest of the year over the 480 metres.
Vale Bluebell, the winner, 11-10. So, well done if you followed me in, because I backed Vale Bluebell. I just thought she was... I've seen her in action. I've called her home. I think she's great. I've met Jill a few times while I've been here at Nottingham for Sky Sports, and I just think, she's got a really nice type on her hands, Vale Bluebell.
Absolutely. So they'll be delighted to have landed the spoils. I'm sure they were delighted when they won the Jennings Bet Select Stayers. I'm sure they're more delighted to have won the Gone to the Dogs Live Stakes. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now, there
Home
they
Run
are.
Hounds are making the presentation here.
Oh, fabulous. I think we've got Home Run Hounds Claire Butler on our podcast a couple of weeks ago. So if you look at the back catalogue, you will find her. Let's head out back to Emily.
Winner of the Super Stayers was Vale Bluebell. Going to speak to Kennel Hand and Parader Aiden. That was a very, very game performance. Was led by Saleka's Cath for most of that, but very, very game to pick her up.
She's one of them dogs who will sort of, if she don't lead, she's a gutsy bitch who will always make sure she's got herself safe somewhere. She never had the ideal route there. She had to come off the rails. But considering she's had a bit of a layoff, she's ran awesomely there to make the best of a draw there, which looked very difficult to pick up. But we've been the Select Stayers star of this year as well. So we knew she'd stayed a distance. It was just whether she'd left it too late to do anything, and clearly she got it right today. So that's the main thing, and she's home safe.
Exactly. Like you said, won the Select Stayers earlier on in the year, so she absolutely loves Nottingham, runs it so well around here.
She's got the quickest time of the year over the 7:30 for Nottingham. Not that there's been many, but she has got the quickest time for it. So let's hope for another good year with her.
Definitely. She's a superstar. Well done.
Thank you.
In my best Lloyd Grossman accent, who lives in a shirt like this? It is Jimmy Fennick. Hello, Jimmy.
Hello, Jason. How are you?
Very well. I'm hoping for a double celebration today.
Yeah, it'd be very nice. I'd like to think Ricky Ned can win, and also Newcastle's playing West Ham. So hopefully, if I can have a bit of luck and win both, it'd be fantastic.
I mean, you've always been a top trainer. Ever since I found out in the Greyhound Star, at one time the youngest trainer in the country, was it 19?
Yeah, I was 19-year-old and got a professional licence when I was 19, and my first winner was an open race winner, so I had a really good start then. So yeah, and I've carried on, and you know, we're obviously marrying Melanie, and at the time she was a trainer at Newcastle, so together we've done really well, I would say.
Were you happy? I was just going to mention the last few years, Ice on Fire, Belmore Sally, obviously Brookside Richie, and now Ned. They've just, well, almost broken all records, haven't they?
They have. We've had a great spell, and hoping to continue. You know, we've got a couple of new ones which we're just getting in, which hopefully can carry on next year. You know, but no, Ice on Fire was a fantastic dog. Had some great times here. You know, and Belmore Sally as well, and then Brookside Richie coming here and winning the Select Stakes for us. So, you know, we've had a good spell, and and Ned's just been, you know, from getting him in March and, you know, picking the races that we've gone for. You know, he's done really well, and he's just a great dog. You know, a great dog.
The thing that struck me, I remember when you went down for the Derby for a trial, and I can't remember why now, presumably weather or probably mechanical. The trial couldn't go ahead, but you almost seemed unperturbed because he's travelled now, and so you must have had extreme confidence in Wiki Ned for that to feel that way.
Yeah, I think really it stems back to his first ever trial at Newcastle, and we put him round and he'd done 16.72, and we've not had a dog ever do that before. You know, going first time to the track, and it's a serious run. So after that, we had in our minds that we had a real dog on our hands here. We just had to nurture him through, and when he won the gym crack, we thought, well, you know, he's a young dog. Why not have a go for it? And he got the last heat of the night, and in a real hot heat, and he got eliminated, and you know, that was that. You know.
Well, gone from strength to strength since there. I've got to be quick, up against time. Last question: can he win tonight from Trap 5?
Well, I think he can. You know, I think he can. I've got every confidence in the dog. You know, he's drawn in 4 at Sheffield. He did come up the boxes and turn left. But in this final, there's dogs that's in the final. Maybe he haven't got the ideal draw as well. You know, and I have the feeling that I'm glad I'm on the outside of the rest of the railers. If they move in and we come away, we might have daylight to get to the bend. And if we lead, it's in his hands.
Best of luck, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Danny,
Yes.
He looked like he was smiling, Jimmy Fennec.
He was. I don't think he'll be smiling much now, will he?
Newcastle 1-0 down.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, Jimmy. Plenty of time left.
Hopefully he's oblivious right there in the restaurant. Daryl, you've joined us.
Hello, Danny.
Hello.
I didn't think I'd make it, but I've found my way to your beautiful presentation area. I feel
It's
quite
wonderful.
proud to be here, actually, tonight.
Actually, a lot of people that saw you in Dublin were surprised that you've made it.
Oh, that was some weekend. I mean, honestly, I know we've talked about this, but the Irish Greyhound Derby final, for obvious reasons with Bocco's Diamond, was incredible. And the atmosphere was brilliant. The crowds were huge. Everybody wanted a piece of the action. And what I want to talk about very briefly is the Greyhound Museum at Shelbourne Park, which is brand new. It's integral part of the main sort of inner sanctums, if you like, of where everybody gathers. And there's everything you could possibly... We need one. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Trophies, audio, sound bites, program. It's everything. And it gets people talking and reminiscing. And, yes, please, I don't know who I need to pray to get one, but we need one over here. We really do.
Greyhound racing's just got a fantastic history, you know. It's part of British culture, but especially Irish as well. And, you know, there's so much history there at Shelbourne Park, and they've just done it right, and we need to do exactly the same. Jim Crowley in the Racing Post today made a great point about why not Wolverhampton? They're building a track there, put a museum in there. So
why not? You know, from the sort of old of Shelbourne, 97 years old, to the new of Wolverhampton, which would be a brand new track for Greyhound racing. Yeah, look, Wolverhampton's not going anywhere anytime soon, so that would make a lot of sense.
it is the greatest Greyhound track in the world, and it's just got even better.
Hasn't it just? Yeah, I can't argue with that at all. It was a great weekend anyway.
The race we're talking about, of course, the Irish Derby on Saturday, won by one of, well, probably the fastest greyhound any of us have ever seen. Bocco's Diamond, just simply superb. His draw on the outside, in 6, boom, away and gone.
We were stood right by the traps for most of the night because it was the greatest place. There's so many people there, you couldn't get near the bookmakers or near the winning line. So we stood near the traps and we had a brilliant view of the start of the race. And you could just see that acceleration. I mean, I think Ashley's put it on some tweet somewhere. Just the acceleration of the dog when the box is open, he just goes. And it's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, Cheap Sandwiches has done well early doors, but nobody can match that Greyhound.
No, it's extraordinary, really. And if you can catch Ian Fortune's commentary on it, it was quite sensational.
He's not a bad caller, to be fair.
He's all right,
He gets
isn't he?
by,
He's all
doesn't he?
right.
Gets by.
Absolutely nailed it, which is so difficult in that moment. You've been there many, many times, but I wasn't there, but I kind of wish I was there, but he kind of got
always
me closer.
next year, obviously.
So
Always
absolutely.
next year. Or the Easter Cup if you can't wait, or whatever else is coming.
Winter
Festival, actually.
2 weeks'
Well,
time,
yeah, 2 weeks, isn't it? So, yeah, go there.
But, for Bev Lockhead, Graham Box, Austin Whelan, Tom McNamara, quite sensational. And for Graham Holland as well. I think is that win number 4,
isn't it? Equals the record,
quite
isn't it?
extraordinary,
Yeah,
really, so great scenes there, despite the weather. I think,
Well, actually, it was balmy
But
by comparison to Thursday and Friday. It was like freezing. Saturday, you had the rain, but that brought the temperatures up. And yes, funnily enough, just before the final started, literally as the hair was about to run, he says, for poetic licence, the rain started to come down. But we didn't care. Nobody cared because we were witnessing one of the greatest winners of the Derby, perhaps the greatest winner of the Irish Derby ever.
Yeah, and the good news is I think the plans are they're 50-50 about the Winter Festival, but next year, of course, the English Derby, and then to go back to Shelbourne Park to defend the title.
8-1 with one firm for the English Derby. Now we know Graham Holland loves to come over here for the English Derby. Is that a price to take, to lock away, to forget about until next summer?
It's been worse advice.
Well, we didn't just have one great race on the night, though. We also had the Michael Fortune Memorial Derby played, and this was the action. You were there, Darryl?
Yep. And I've got to say, I did have a little bit on the winner purely because of its form in Trap 1 round Enniscorthy. I know nothing about Enniscorthy, but I do know this ground loves the inside draw. But I tell you, one man who was all over it, and that was the aforementioned Ian Fortune.
And this was Elite Josh?
Yeah. At a big price, but not as big as it. I think 20s with some firms going into the weekend. I think it might have been 8-1 on the SP, so there was some bad pricing from some bookmakers. They know who they are, but plenty took advantage.
And great, once again, another great tribute, the Michael Fortune Memorial Derby plate. Great to see Rita there, and Michelle as well, and the family, of course, son doing the honours in terms of the commentary as well. Great tribute to a great guy.
Yeah, do you know what, Dan? If you walk into the museum, which I do keep harking on about, I know, but you'll hear the audio of all these races. In amongst them, we hear, "Here comes the Causeway," which was his great College Causeway commentary from whatever year that was, 2009, I think.
It was,
but anyway, long time ago.
What isn't a long time away is our next race. We have about 4 minutes to go. Darryl, run us through who you've got.
So in Trap 1, we've got Jamie Monica, of course, in 2, both for Jim Daly. They're not related. Jamie Lace running in red for the first time. Both big prices. So a Star Cash Best for Neil Chapman, and Mellon Road in 4 for Simon Deacon, whose first time round here. Because look at this market. Ryoka Oshin, the best sprinter for many a year. Danny's getting excited already, the Scurry winner. But Magical Blue Bear, of course, won the Silver Salver. Is not a bad sort. And have a look at the trial time for Magical Blue Bear, which was quicker than the run of Ryoka Oshin the other week. So there's food for thought.
Yeah, look up. We've got 2-5 favourite Ryoka Oshin in 5. Magical Blue Bear at 7-4. This must have took Danny Jackson forever and a day to find this to be a nap Ryoka Oshin.
She's only got one to beat, isn't she, Joe? But I tell you what, pricing this up here is like the Grand National on the horses, because the bookies down the card, 28-1, 50-1, 25-1, 50-1. As you said, 5-2 on Ryoka. The owner here, Paul, he's just come into us, hasn't he, Paul Woodburn? I said, Paul, will it win? He said, Gal, don't be silly, he's already won. So he fancied that. And also, we've had a legend on, old Dave Martin. He used to be a legend from Oxford, and he's Paul's best mate. He's in Scotland tonight, and he said as well, he thinks this is a good thing, 5. So everyone's with you, Danny. Everyone's with Danny.
As they should be, I think, with Ryoka Oshin. 7 from 8 so far. Absolutely bolted up at Perry Bar last time. And there is our best turn out as well. Ryoka Oshin might well win the race, but he has definitely won the best turn out. Paraded by
a certain Kevin Hutton.
Yeah.
Heard of him?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's quite good, isn't he?
No, fantastic. Yeah, and absolutely deserved. And I'll tell you what, I was at Perry Bar on the night of the Scurry Cup, and this, I think, was just one of the best sprints I've ever seen. Ryoka Oshin versus Magical Blue Bear, Blue Bear in 6, Ryoka Oshin in 5, and they just go hammer and tong all the way in Trap 4, of course, 4 and 6, and they just absolutely go nip and tuck all the way to the wire. It was Ryoka Oshin who did the business for Paul Woodburn and the teams. Kevin Hutton, of course, delighted. But what a great head-to-head.
And we've got it again. So Ryoka Oshin in 5, Magical Blue Bear in 6. They're a little bit closer together than they were in the scurry at Perry Bar, but we will see how they get on shortly because we are almost on post time. 8:19 is on post time here for the ARC National Sprint Trial, and the last couple of moments are ticking away for you to place your bets. We are, of course, Gone to the Dogs Live, brought to you by Star Sports, and our next race will be called home by the excellent Darryl Williams.
Thank you, Danny. And of course, this in effect is a trial stakes, isn't it, for the ARC National Sprint, which gets underway in 2 Mondays' time on the 9th of December. The final will be just a couple of days before Christmas on the 23rd. So there's a good reason to be here on the Monday before Christmas. It looks on paper an absolute match, perhaps geared towards Ryoka Oshin. That's how the betting sees it. Could it be closer than that, though? Let's find out. Hares on the approach, 305 metres for the Join the Time Club trophy. Here comes the bunny, ready to spring those traps open. And they're racing, and away they go. And Ryoka Oshin has broken last, and Magical Blue Bear is on the outside as they go towards the bend. And look at Ryoka Oshin, unbelievable, found the opening, found the gap, and has gone on in a matter of strides. He's by a length and a half. Magical Blue Bear out wide in second place, on way back to Mellon Road. Oh, there were worrying moments, but only for a moment, because Ryoka Oshin is too sharp, too good. Magical Blue Bear in second, and 4 Mellon Road was back in third.
Oh my word. I hope you were all on. Ryoka Oshin, the nap has landed, my tide has turned, and Ryoka Oshin, I mean, my goodness me, Hobbsy, that was a sprint.
Extraordinary. I mean, this Greyhound has absolute gears for, I think it's Jackie Brown, Paul Woodburn, Sarah Woodburn. They'll be delighted. Kevin Hutton as well, Ryoka Oshin. Remember, you know, he was off the track for something like 6 months, but has been nursed back, wonderfully trained, and he just is an electrifying watch. You saw that head-to-head on in the Scurry Gold Cup at Perry Bar, and once again they've gone head-to-head, but Ryoka Oshin can be very difficult to beat. I presume eventually, I think, Kevin wants to go back to 4 bends with him because he was originally bought as a 4-bend greyhound. He's a 4-bend greyhound, but he's got so much speed. You know, to do that to other sprinters, to give them a start and a beating, he is an absolute machine. And I think you can tell the value of the form because Magical Blue Bear has come clear of the 3rd place, and this is what these two are doing. Ultimately, Bill Russell's greyhound is, you know, getting out done, if you like, by Ryoka Oshin, but he just has that little stumble out the boxes. So again, you know, fantastic head-on shots. You know, 4 just looking for the inside, 3 had absolutely nowhere to go, 2 was drifting off, and you could argue that the way was clear from 5, but you don't do that in sprints. No. You know, unless you're Ravage again, and back in the day, he didn't trap, but he had extraordinary gears, and so too is this Greyhound. Far too early to put him in that bracket, but he is certainly fast enough.
Oh, he is. Ryoka Oshin has absolutely bolted up after almost being on his belly out the boxes, and he has won and put a distance between himself and Magical Blue Bear, who, as we've said, is no back number, and he's now 8 from 9. But you can see he just manages to pace up. He's managed to get the gaps because, as we say, Mellon Road's come in, Jamie and Monica going out, Star Cash Best, the meat and the sandwich, and Ryoka Oshin has managed to absolutely motor. But he's a big lad as well. He's touching 37 kilos, and he's got a stride to boot.
Let's have a look at trap 5. Once again, as the trap's open, there he is. He comes out. He just stumbles. He's almost on his haunches there. He's recovered so well. You've only got, 305 metres to recover. Less than that. He's roared into the first bend, and he's got the better of Magical Blue Bear. And I think this Greyhound in trap 6, remember he won the Silver Salver Central Park earlier this year. He's a really good Greyhound. He's a great benchmark. But he's made sometimes to look ordinary by trap 5, and that's not the case. He's a fast dog, but this is a bit of a sensation. Lovely to hear Kevin's thoughts.
Thank you, Hobbsy. Ryoka Oshin has won here. By the way, brilliant shots, weren't they, as Hobbsy and Danny were talking about there. Well done to Ryan. Poor Ryan's out on the 3rd bend, braving the cold, but getting us shots like that are just magical. Ryoka Oshin at 2-7, the favourite, beat Magical Blue Bear 15-8 in second. Mellon Road was third, 33-1, waiting on the winning time. I guess it won't be quite as sharp as it might have been, given the way the race has panned out for Ryoka Oshin. But looking forward to when those two meet up, of course, hopefully in the National Sprint Final in, 3 Mondays' time, is it? The 23rd of December. I can't quite calculate that.
Sorry, Daryl, you put me away there. 17.74 we're hearing unofficially is the time for Ryoka Rasheen, but obviously he was down on his belly. The fastest time he's recorded here so far was 17.65 in his introduction trial, but this is the scene, and here comes the dog at some point. I believe he's just about to come out, Ryoka Rasheen, and head towards the podium. We've got Sean Reynolds taking pictures. We've got Steve Nash as well, out and about with his camera. Great to see him back on the racecourse as well, isn't it, Steve?
Absolutely,
after his troubles earlier on this year.
He had an injury setback as well.
Yeah.
Did our Steve, you know, he was lame for a while, but he came back, and he's been trained to perfection by his wife, Liz, and he's back on track, is Nashy. So Ryoka Rasheen, that's 8 wins from 9 starts. And well done to the lads, Shane and Willie Rigney. We've got some machines in the Greyhound world. Darryl Williams, of course, Shelbourne Park. 1 or 2 others have also made that trip, and so too have Willie and Shane Rigney from Time Greyhound Nutrition. Join the Time Club Trophy, and hopefully Jason, with the help of Shane and Willie, will tell us all about this exclusive club and how you can join.
Well, we're just waiting on the Greyhound to appear at the moment, to head back out and collect his prizes. I think we've got a trophy. We've also got a bottle of champagne, Prosecco-y type thing, and some Thornton's chocolates, I believe, as well.
We have, yeah, absolutely. So just in addition to the trophies, which we know, of course, supplied by Nottingham and Mark Burridge, or Burridge Trophies, I should say, but just for a little extra for our races, the Gone to the Dogs races, Prosecco and some chocolates thrown in for good measure. Chance to see this race again, the sprint. And of course, this is pertinent in terms of the national sprint. That's the big end of season sprint competition. A lot of the time, the national sprint winner ends up becoming Sprinter of the Year. Not every single year. And of course, in terms of who's at the forefront of that, you'd have to say Ryoka Rasheen at the moment. It's going to be very difficult to see him being beaten. Perhaps at the moment he'd be just about ahead, I would imagine. And great for Kevin. Of course, we had a winner earlier. There's Paul Woodburn, owner Mark Studer, or Jock, others know him, of course. Willie Rigney on the right, and Big Kev there with Antigua Kestrel in the Premier Greyhound Eclipse. The start of a big night, potentially, for the big man.
Now I think we're going to head back out to Emily as she chats with connections of the winner, Ryoka Rasheen.
Thanks, Danny. I mean, wow, what a performance from Ryoka Rasheen. Going to go to Kevin first, Kevin Hutton, the trainer. That was mightily impressive. I mean, I was standing from the same angle as you, and he didn't come out the traps at all, but in a good class race, suddenly at the bend, he's in front.
Yeah, he's exceptional pace. He did miss a break tonight. It looked like he stumbled a little bit. He just lost his back leg, I think. And but his pace to the corner is just ridiculous. He's a proper dog, and you know, fingers crossed he has that bit of luck, stays sound, and we'll have a lot of fun with him.
The plan next is obviously the national sprint. I mean, he's going to be favourite for that. Looks to have a really good chance in that.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, national sprint's definitely the plan for him. He is a four-bend dog. As crazy as it sounds, he's a proper four-bend dog. But we'll just wait our time, and hopefully next year there'll be some nice competitions for him as well.
What would you be aiming him for next year over 4 bends? Would you be looking at a Toaster, or would that be a stretch too far for him?
No, we won't be heading to Toaster, but we're all Oxford lads, so we want the Pall Mall. That'd be the big race for him next year for us and everyone involved, yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, Kevin. I mean, a good start for you. Looking forward to Antigua Kestrel and the big one as well.
Yeah, fingers crossed, yeah. Tough race, but that's a great start to the night anyway.
A quick word with Paul Woodburn, the owner, as well. You are very impressed with that, as you should be.
Yeah, absolutely amazed. That was a hell of a performance. When he came out last, I didn't think he was going to win, and he just come out the clouds from nowhere. Just so impressive, this dog is. It's unreal. Yeah.
And it's been a really good time for you, especially with Kevin. Of course, Ryoka Bungle won the Birmingham Cup. That was your first Category 1. And now the Category 2 with this dog. So I really... Have I?
Bungle won Newcastle as well.
He did. So a really good time for you. You've got a really nice team of dogs.
Yeah, having a really exciting time at the moment. Yeah, make the most of it while it lasts, definitely.
And you're looking forward to the national sprint with them?
Really excited about that competition.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. We're now going to go back to the betting ring with Joe. Joe, who have you got?
Thank you, Emily. Delighted to be joined by a good friend of mine and also owner of Trap 6 Slick Sentinel in the Premier Grand Race and Eclipse final, Keith Allsop. Keith, thanks for joining us. Look, he's your dog for next year, you've said that, but to get to the finals that he has already, to do what he's done, to be in this final is a massive testament to the ground, isn't it?
Yeah, we can't ask no more of him. He's been in 4 competitions, got to 4 finals. What more? He won 1, second in the other, last in the Doncaster, didn't run it very well. But he's got to this final on merit. He's in there with a draw's chance. And what more can you ask?
And you must be really happy with the draw. Obviously, Wiki Ned in 5. We think it's going to edge left. The railers might be drawn the wrong way around. He's got his draw in 6. Can he use that to his advantage?
As long as he comes out of 6, because he's been in it twice and he fell out twice. So if he falls out tonight, there'll be no chance. But you never know. It's a final. Patrick might get him out for a change.
Yeah, it might be a 1-2-3 for Patrick. Hopefully Keith's on the top end of that. We've trapped 6 Sensible. And just a quick word, Keith, very sad news we had last week about the closure of Crayford. We were expecting in the new year. Must be really disappointed and really upset about that news.
Well, it's bad for the owners, the trainers and everybody that works there. It just shows you what these promoters think of people now, because if they race on proper nights like Friday and Saturday, make it a family night, you'll fill these tracks. You wouldn't have to rely on the bookies' money. And that's what it's all about. You've got roulette racing 24 hours a day. Who wants to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning and watch the dog? You don't. You'd get more people back into racing if you had it on a Friday and Saturday night when people can have the weekend off on a Sunday, recover, the kids can go and play out and enjoy themselves. That's how you get people back into racing. Get the families back in, and you'll get it moving again. Promoters need to promote to get off their horses.
Thank you, Keith. All the very best tonight. Thank you for your thoughts on Crayford. We all echo that. Look, ground racing needs people. People don't need ground racing in their life, but ground racing definitely needs people. Back to you, Danny.
Cheers, Joe. And we have got plenty of racing coming up this evening, of course. We will be touching on Crayford a little later on because we're going to go over the 2 big finals that we had yesterday. Now, we have got Druid Say Go as the Time Greyhound Nutrition Greyhound of the Month. And here she is in action.
Yeah, this was fantastic. It was a brilliant Oaks lineup,
Yes.
but she's effectively obliterated them. This is Druid Say Go, was the winner of the Yarmouth Derby. We were there, fantastic night at Yarmouth. And then could she go and win the Bitches Classic? Steadily stepped up in trip by Patrick Jansen's. Well, she absolutely stormed in. This was quite incredible. Iceman's Girl for Gerwyn Price ran a really commendable race for Nathan Hunt in second, but it was all about Druid Say Go. She was absolutely awesome and pretty much ran away with the Greyhound of the Month prize.
I think she's made history as well, hasn't she? She's done the East Anglian Derby, Oaks double. I don't think anybody else has done that.
That's right. Extraordinary efforts, and maybe one more to come as well, because she's also going up to the All England Cup. Hey, look, I haven't spoken to Jimmy, but one step at a time. But win or lose, you would imagine that the All England Cup is certainly on Wiki Ned's agenda as well.
You would believe so. Right, we are going to head back to Jason.
The Time Greyhound Nutrition Greyhound of the Month for October was the peerless Druid Say Go. I've got the 4 owners with me here. First of all, James, the Oaks victory, just thrilling.
Wasn't it just? Feels like yesterday. It was just a brilliant night, and one we'll never ever forget.
And I'm going to move down the line. I'm going to be very rude because I'm going to leave out the sponsors, but there is a reason. I'm going to come back to them. Now we've got the lovely Rachel.
Hello. Very happy with them. Pleased to Patrick for all his hard work. I want to thank you very much for that, and we had a great time. Thank you.
You're clasping onto that trophy for dear life.
Don't want to drop it.
And I have noticed you're not actually next to your husband, are you? But you are next to Trouble in Paradise. You are next to Tony.
Good evening.
Tony, and well, we're going to get to Pat in a minute, but it looks like you may be going further north.
Hopefully Newcastle trailing this week with a view to All England.
And moving on to not next to his wife here, we've got Mike, and I spoke to you upstairs, and you were pleased with what's been achieved already. But the fact that there might even be more to come is a very exciting prospect.
Dream come true. 15 years in this sport, and nothing like it. Unbelievable.
And Pat, a very, very quick word from you. You're the maestro, and well, the big races keep coming later on tonight as well.
Yeah, they do, you know what I mean? We're very pleased they're 3 in the final, and fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
Now, the sponsors, Time Greyhound and Nutrition, we haven't got long, but you sponsored the last race. Tell us very briefly, please, about the Time Club.
The Time Club is a new initiative we launched there recently. It's to support the industry from breeding to racing to rehoming. You can sign up for free on our website, www.timenutrition.ie. Register for the club. You get a free bag when you sign up, a free bag when you breed litter pups, a free bag when you enter a time-sponsored stake. When you rehome a greyhound, a slip will be provided to the member that they can pass along with the dog to its new home. and they can redeem the voucher, free nutrition advice and free entry to our competitions on our social media.
Shane, that is absolutely brilliant. And apologies to Willie, who I ignored over there, but very, very happy connections of Druid said go.
Thank you, Jason. That sounds fantastic, doesn't it? The Time Club. Got to check that out. Now we're going to check out the runners for the Arc Maiden Standard Trophy Final. Over the 500 metres, Magical Bertie, the youngster, the pup in the field, is going to head the list for trainer William Russell, running out of trap 1. It's likely to be quite a strong favourite as well. Well, 7-4, actually not as strong as we might have expected. Definitely not as strong as it was earlier. Tricky Tinkerbell in 2 has not been back on the card that long for Robert Hull. Let's hope Robert gets a better run. He's been unlucky with a couple so far tonight. 10's on has been all the rage by the looks of things. I saw 7-2 earlier. Colin Wilton on a double. Charbon Rose in 4. Honeyguard Jane at a price for Peter Holland. And Chelms Jacob on the outside for Peter Harnden.
Nap time, Gaz.
I don't know about nap time, we're just getting our breath back. That 5 dog there we owned, so when it come out of the traps, when he was last, the bookie's here. There's a bookie behind me. He's been here 43 years, hasn't he? Stevie Jolesworth, honestly. He put his arms up going to the bend, but the arms still come down when he went round on the outside there. But I fancy the 1 dog here, Joe. I think it's a good price, 6-4 Magical. But I've had some legends of the game as well texting me. Dave Titterton, you know, the breeder. I had Sammy Tweed, who used to be the Sheffield racing manager. Craig Day, he's the Donny racing manager now. Cole Perry, all loving the show. And they're all having a go at Danny upstairs for tipping a free. But the difference is, Dan, they can all have a go at you, love, but you've backed a winner. And I bet they ain't backed too many winners tonight. So Danny's the queen. She's got the ready.
She's won a 33p, whatever it is off the thingy. But she's in profit, girl. She's in profit.
An arrow on the way back or a Kit Kat. Unfortunately, Dan have about £1 now, anyway.
Girl, it won't even get her half a Twix anymore.
Trap 1 to win it. I don't worry about Twixes, Joe. We want to be the 1 dog here. 6-4 still. What can you see behind? Can we get any bigger?
Yes, 2-1 Magical Bertie.
2-1 it's gone to now. Yeah, 2-1. It's gone to a working man's price now. Well, I still think the dog's on the inside and running well.
There we go, Dan.
So they are just about to head behind the boxes and load up for the 8:36 at Nottingham, the Arc Maiden Standard Trophy Final. £500 to the winner. Who wins it?
I'm going to go with Chelms Jacob. Really impressed by the performance in the heat. Came from off the pace. I think he lands the spoils for Peter Harnden. Just to say, the best turned out, sponsored by Time, goes to Trap 1 Magical Bertie, paraded by Mark Russell, son of trainer Bill.
So Magical Bertie, who is just 1 from 2 so far, so he's not had too much experience of the track, hoping to make it 2 from 3. They are about to head into the boxes. They've got the coats on, of course, because it is that time of the year, but they're about to be loaded into the starting trap, so we can head back to Darryl.
Thank you, Danny. So this is the Arc Maiden Standard Trophy, all the time Greyhound Nutrition Best Turned Out Stakes, doubly named event. It's an exciting one as well, isn't it? And 10's on really, really well back for the Witten Racing and Colin Wilton, who had Crafty Pardiso win earlier. Could he be on for a double, or will Magical Bertie justify morning favouritism? Just hanging on to that status for the Russells in the red. They race away and off they go, and from the boxes, Tricky Tinkerbell is going to lead as they go to the bend for Robert Hull, being pursued by 10's on, who got crowded and has been pushed out of contention as 1 now. Magical Bertie gets a sniff of the lead on the inside and quickly goes on through. Magical Bertie now leaving Tricky Tinkerbell under real pressure, 3 lengths down in second, then the 5, Honeyguard Jane, followed further back by Charbon Rose. They go towards the last turn. Magical Bertie, the young February pup, leads off the final turn here for William Russell. They had to be content with second in the last race, but this time the Russells are on top, and it's Magical Bertie coming clear to beat Tricky Tinkerbell in second, and 5 Honeyguard Jane was third.
The puppy wins. Trap 1, Magical Bertie makes it 2 from 3 and has won probably quite a nice time there. 6-4 the winner, beats 2 Tricky Tinkerbell in second place. Trap 5, Honeyguard Jane in third. But Magical Bertie was given an acre of space in the early strides because Tricky Tinkerbell has moved right off. There was a little bit of trouble for 10's on, who was well backed for Colin Wilton, so he was unlucky. His winning chance went at the first bend, and Trap 1 Magical Bertie just had all the room in the world to go on and sail to victory in the final of the Arc Maiden Standard Trophy.
Well done, Magical Bertie, landing the spoils for the Phillips family, and trained, of course, by Bill Russell. Mark, son, doing the honours, parading. Emily, of course, very much a vital part of the team, but Tricky Tinkerbell at this stage has showed the best pace, but as 3 just barged aside there. 1's got itself into a great position down the far side, and the best turned out has ended up proving best here, winning the Art Maiden Standard Trophy, otherwise known as the Time Greyhound Nutrition Best Turned Out Stakes. And the Best Turned Out Greyhound has won the race as well, and he's clearly a very nice type. And having seen Magical Blue Bear run a really good race behind the exceptional Rioja Sheen, for them as a kennel to go one better, absolutely perfect.
Magical Bertie, you can see, has the acre of space because Tenzon has moved off. Tricky Tinkerbell has moved off right into the path of Sharban Rose. 5 and 6 have both stayed in their lanes. Honeyguard Jane and Challenge Jacob. Look at the acre of space here.
Absolutely taking advantage of that ultimately, as you can see, just that tangling between the 2 and the 3, and eventually 3's ended up being, I think, sort of just knocked aside by the ground on its inside there. Magical Bertie, Tricky Tinkerbell involved in that as well. She's trying to make all, couldn't escape Magical Bertie, who's going to absolutely surge to the front down the far side. So he's only, 2 wins now from 3 starts. Really young sort, February 23. Razzle Dazzle Myers, I presume it's a Dolores Ruth bread litter. I'm thinking about that, but an explosive boy, and the magical situation as well. So, yeah, there's plenty of people celebrating this, not least the Russell family.
Tell you what, these shots are absolutely sensational. Magical Bertie in isolation across the line to beat Tricky Tinkerbell in second, and 5 Honeyguard Jane was third. Superb effort from this puppy. He was the youngest in the lineup of Feb 23, and he's learning on the job. You can see he still is learning, but he has absolutely routed them. I'd like to see the time of this race as well, because he bolted up in the heat by 7 3/4 lengths. It's not been quite that far for this race, but he has absolutely routed them. And 5's run a nice race. Honeyguard Jane for 3rd place for Peter Holland, but all about one dog. Magical Bertie has bolted up for the Arc Maiden Standard Trophy final, takes home £500 and the all-important trophy.
Yeah, good selection from Tony Bullen, wasn't it? The Racing Post, that was his MB today, and I guess in hindsight, the best drawn dog of the night by far. Magical Birdie, 6-4 winning favourite, beat Tricky Tinkerbell at 5-1, Honeyguard Jane 20-1. We'll try and get you a time. I haven't heard one just yet, but Hobbsy may get it first.
You are the man in the net.
I have requested. We'll get there. Don't worry.
We will get there. The time will come for the 8:36 at Nottingham. There they are, starting to gather at the podium, just waiting for the superstar, Magical Bertie, for our latest race. It's the 8th on the card, the Category 3, and he's just about to make his way over the puppy. It's all new to him, what he has to do, but he seems to be turning into quite the professional.
We'll keep an eye on the presentation. Of course, we'll go over to our steam team there. But I was going to say, going into this, the likes of Adam Cope, Alex Powell, Anthony Harris, Brodie Summers, Chloe Carpenter, David Johnson, Fleur Johnson, Gary Taylor, Jordan Brandish, Mark Banney, Oliver Carpenter, Paul Lawrence, Sarah Spillane, Tim Camp, Tom Pickering, William Berry and William Easton had the first 3 winners. I wonder if they had the 4th.
Oh, we'll find out shortly. I felt like I wanted to beatbox behind you there. Obviously, that was impressive.
Please do.
No, they are now on the podium with Magical Bertie, who is 2 from 3. He's a race winner here at Nottingham Greyhound Stadium. If you have just tuned in, of course, we are Gone to the Dogs live, brought to you by Star Sports. So make sure you are, tuning in right throughout the rest of the show. Couldn't quite remember what I was going to say there, Hobbsy, quite frankly. 9/11 is the big one. That is coming up in 2 races' time.
Absolutely. We've got the Greyhound Star Trophy upcoming as well. And a reminder, we will give you that reminder later, the 21st of December at Toaster, the next Gone to the Dogs programme. And there's Basher Watts there doing the honours in terms of the presentation.
He is indeed. Right, let's head back to Em.
Magical Bertie, a very impressive winner of race 8 on the card, trained by William Russell. Going to have a word with Mark Russell. That was his 3rd race, 2nd win, and very, very impressive.
Really good. I was a bit when he missed the hole a little bit, but no, we're doing great. Hopefully he'll be a lovely dog for us. Yeah.
Won his heat last week by almost 8 lengths, so followed up this week.
We thought we had a chance, but you never know. So yeah, thrilled for Gary and Karen who own him, and obviously Mr. Gill falling into me virus. So yeah, we saw him last night because we were at the Derby in Ireland. So yeah, we hoped he'd do the business, but yeah, you never know. So really good, really pleased.
It looks like an exciting prospect for the future as well.
We'll see. Pat thought he might make into a nice type of stayer. So hopefully that'll be the plan the next 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
But kicked off his career really well. Well done.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Thank you. We are going to have a little catch up with Basher Watts as well. That is okay with you, if you're ready. Basha, obviously you came to Romford last time here at Nottingham. Are you enjoying your night so far?
Absolutely, my first time coming here actually. Lovely track. I think, you know, it's a little bit like horse racing. Each track is unique, and obviously this is unique, different to Romford and Yarmouth where I've seen you guys before, but fantastic evening. In terms of like entertainment, I always think, you know, it's a race every sort of 15 minutes, 12 races. If you back a loser, you haven't got to wait too long to try and have another go. So it's a great evening, yeah, great evening.
For people that may have not seen the Romford show, could you explain a bit about what you do with your social media?
Absolutely. So, I mean, predominantly I'm in horse racing. So I've got 4 race horses which I have syndicates for, all posted on my Instagram at Basha Watts or at Bash Watts Racing. But I'm really trying to get more into the Greyhound. So we're looking at the possibility of starting a syndicate. I want to try and get as many young people into Greyhound racing, into horse racing as possible, because it's a great night with your mates and stuff. And what is there not to like?
Definitely, and you like to back a few winners as well in your social media. How has it gone so far tonight?
Yeah, a little bit patchy so far tonight, but we had the winner, thankfully. So as long as you finish strong, that's all I worry about. But yeah, the thing I always show the winners, show the losers. It's an honest day's punting, as I always do. So hopefully we finish in the green, but regardless, we're having a good time.
Perfect. Thanks, Basha.
You're very welcome.
This is the Betfred Eclipse Stakes, and away they go, and running up towards the first bend. Already a little bit of trouble as they roar to the bend, and it's going to be Droopy's Buick who gets round in front. Bubbly Bluebird done no favours. 5 around the outside. Tinwall Baz for Lawrence Tuffin. The local runner hits the front and quickens on by 2 lengths from Droopy's Buick back in second. Bubbly Bluebird in third as they come around the last 2 bends then for the Betfred Eclipse, and Tinwall Baz taken on again by Droopy's Buick, who's brave. He's coming back for more towards the winning line. It's nothing between them. Droopy's Buick has won the Betfred Eclipse final for Jimmy Wright, winning and beating Tinwall Bass, coming from off the pace. What a huge run from Droopy's Buick.
Gosh, I can't believe that was 8 years ago. Time flies.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many links, isn't there, really? I mean, Newcastle's finest at the time, you know, he was a Greyhound of the year. We've got Wicky Ned, of course, and, you know, Buick was trained by Jimmy Wright and Angela Harrison, you know, an absolute star of the track. And, yeah, not a bad sire either. So he's thrown plenty of winners, but on the track, it's sensational, as you saw there.
And called home by Errol Blythe as well. Right, we're going to head back to Jason.
Come true in Greyhound racing, and it really would raise the roof here with Sam McKeon to win the Eclipse. I'm here with one of the owners, Barry Juliet. Now, I've been saying all night how demure, quiet people are. Barry's not like that.
No, I'm very loud when it comes to shouting. You'll hear me later on, and I'll wet the whole stadium up, honestly. Because it's a dream. It's like you've just said, it's a dream. I've had, how many dogs, Colin?
You're in double figures, I think, now. Right?
Yeah, and I keep having them. And Kane, like you say, A3 last year, wasn't he? Yeah. Doing nothing. All of a sudden, he's picked up. And he knows the track, and he knows what he's doing. He's got really good craft. He run in the owners, the what's name race, wasn't he, Colin? The invitation race.
Yeah.
He run in that. He come round the bend. They all come up here. He shot round in the side. Away he went.
Absolutely. And Colin, there very much is a path to victory. We were just chatting. We know he's a big prize, but he's a big boy. He's got the local knowledge as well.
He is, yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's we run our final last week just to get here, and anything he does tonight will be a bonus. But he's trying 100%. He'll be trying his best.
And you've had Cat 1 finalists in the past, yet to have a winner.
Yeah, we've not got past the winning line yet, but you know, hopefully soon. I mean, this dog's been absolutely fantastic this year. He's won 13 times this year. He loves this track. I mean, we did try him at Toaster. He didn't enjoy it when we took him there, so we've just kept him here, and he just keeps winning. He's already clocked up 8 open race wins.
Well, we've got to go back. I genuinely wish you the best of luck. Now, Barry, I want you to look. We're going back to Danny. You've got to look deep down the camera and just say, "Come on, Kian!
Come on, Kian!"
Come on, Kian. Yes, I've called him home plenty of times because I have been to Nottingham plenty of times to call the dog. So he is a very popular local. He would be a very popular
He would be, and he's clearly Barry Julian is his biggest fan as well, which is fantastic. And this would be a success for Sam McKeon, for Colin Wilton. would be the biggest success. Steve Anderson's won his biggest success recently with Bramble Linton as well in the Sunderland Classic. So, but I think Patrick Jansen's, well, Emily's caught up with Patrick.
Yeah, I'm now joined by the man who has half the field of the Eclipse final tonight, Patrick Janssens. We'll start off with Romeo Command in Trap 1. I mean, what a servant. He's been in many, many finals and makes another one tonight.
Yeah, he's absolutely brilliant dog, you know. He's so professional, so chilled out as well. And, yeah, he's been running so well. He's almost 4 years old as well, and yeah, fingers crossed. You know, he has to be lively at the start to have a chance. He won't probably as much early as Trap 2, but he's in very good form.
Secondly, Romeo Still. He's had 21 races in England, of course, not all with you. I think he came over for the Derby for Graham Holland, but he has done really, really well with you, and again made another final, which is here in the Eclipse.
Yeah, he was in the semi-finals at the Kent Derby, and he was desperately unlucky at there, I thought, and then. I gave him a trial at Perry Bar, and then he had a race there, and he dipped under the 28-second barrier. And then I thought, we give him a trial here, and he done 29.70, so that was very good. And then, yeah, he's been unbeaten so far. So, and he has some bad draws, really. Trap 5, Trap 4, Trap 2 is where he wants to be, really.
Slick Sentinel is your final runner in Trap 6. He, of course, won the Juvenile round Toaster. So, again, another good competition dog. And I think one that goes under the radar slightly in his runs.
Yeah, I think so. He's 28.77 toasted, 28.80 toasted. He won the Juvenile, was second behind Wicky Ned on Derby final night in that puppy competition. He made the Doncaster, the Yorkshire Derby final. He's done. He don't do nothing wrong. He keeps himself out wide there. He's more middleish than wide, but I think he's the best drawn dog in the race. You know what I mean? If there's any crowding on the run up, he'll be the beneficiary of it. You know, and I think 9 to 1 or 10 to 1 or 12 to 1 is massive.
Great achievement to have 3 in the final. You're, of course, happy with that. What do you make of the draw? I think, are you worried about Romeo Command perhaps moving off onto Romeo Still?
Yeah, I am. But I think the way Romeo Still is trapping, I think Romeo Still will be gone before he will turn right, you know. And once, if Romeo Command is sort of behind, he won't turn right. It's only when he hits the front and he's causing the hair a bit, you know what I mean? So I'm not too worried about that, you know. It all depends really what Wicky Ned does as well from Trap 5. Will he go left? Will he stay straight? Who knows, you know what I mean? But I think Kevin's dog in Trap 3 was very pacey last week as well down the back straight, so he goes a bit under the radar. And the local dog, he obviously has the knowledge around here, you know. But listen, it's a great final. It's great to be here, and fingers crossed.
Perfect. Thanks, Patrick, and best of luck with your 3 runners.
Thank you very much.
So we're about to move on to the Greyhound Star Trophy. By the way, it's lovely to hear from Barry. It's lovely to hear from Patrick as well. Sam Bakian, big bidding even to become only the second locally trained ground to ever win the Eclipse. The other one, Famous Footsteps, to follow in some picture in 1996. Right, faithful friend heads the list here for Jim Daly. It's bitches in the top 3 spots and in Trap 6. Velvet Madrid in 2 was an Eclipse semi-finalist for Peter Holland. Noel's Milano should be peaking out a season, shouldn't she? 2 from 2 as well over the course and distance. Ballymac John's been back to form with those 2 wins at Monmore the last twice, and is in the Olympic, by the way. The heats are already drawn and out there for Saturday at Hove. Stone Park Wes in 5, semi-finalists in the Eclipse. But we'll move in, I guess. So Fabulous Tempo's got a lovely draw. The Yorkshire Ledger runner-up in 6 for Jason Gray. Now, if you want to get involved tonight, Star Sports, of course, our sponsors, our partners here this evening, very much part of this programme. And if you have yet to have an interest with Star Sports this evening, you can get 50% of your stake back as a free bet if your Greyhound finishes second. That's in all the remaining races at Nottingham tonight, so got to be worth having a look.
Yeah, battle of the naps here, Gal. Me and 5 Stone Park West. 9 to 4, really. I can see 6 to 4 on the board here. Ballymac John for Emily, 6 to 4 as well, Gal.
Yeah, I think I want to be with a 4 dog. We mentioned Sam Tweeder, who was the general manager, good and a graded at Sheffield, and he thinks 4 will beat 5. He can't believe 5's so short. He said to me, it's been 9 to 4 this morning, but he rates it a 3 to 1 chance, which was massive. As you said, it's 6 to 4 here. All the money before here, Ballymac John. We was mentioning there Basher. He was mentioning about younger people involved in the game. Well, funny enough, he's done a good job, because my grandson, Rory Hogan, he's on the Kidderminster Harriers books, right? he said, Grandad, I want to come to dogs. When's the next one you're doing? Can we come to the dogs now? He's only 10 years of age, though. That's the only thing. Basher, it's all right you mentioning younger people, but he should be in bed studying for school in the morning. But he said, when can we go? So he's a young kid of 10. See, everyone's on YouTube now watching all these things. Not being funny. It's a young man's sport, Joe. Look at behind us. You see all the people with flat caps on and everything. We don't want the flat caps anymore. We want the youngsters. We want the people like Rory who want to come to the dogs. You're doing a good job, Basher. Keep it going, son.
He is doing a cracking job, is Basher, and he's got the love of the sport, and that's all you need to get that first hook. And then you are hooked for life, obviously.
You are definitely that. Ballymac John, I fancy, takes a beating here, running out of trap 4 for Mark Wallace in the MWD partnership. The best turned out goes to Velvet Madrid, and trainer Peter Holland, who is parading Velvet Madrid, gets the £50 cash prize courtesy of time. Well done to him.
And everyone else must be busy because Mark Wallace is parading Ballymac John here.
Absolutely. And I'm just going through when Darryl mentioned about some picture and all the luminaries, canine luminaries that have won the Eclipse, and then Mumble Swerve there, 1999, trained by a certain Linda Jones, Emily's nan.
Wow. They are steeped in history, the Wallaces. Now they are going into the boxes for our latest race here on Gone to the Dogs, brought to you by Star Sports, and the call brought to you by Darryl Williams.
Yeah, and I wonder how significant it is that Mark, as you say, is walking and loading, and Ballymac John has been back to form, had a long time without a win, but two really tough victories at Monmore over the last couple of weeks, just securing a fabulous tempo. But all is good now. We're set. Starter will check them over the Greyhound Star Trophy and the NottinghamGreyhounds.co.uk Standard Trophy. Top Division 854. Stone Park Wales, Ballymac John 4-5. They're the market leaders. They race away and off they go. And Velvet Madrid got a very good start. It's going to lead here for Peter Holland as they go to the corner. Look at the pace of Ballymac John, though. Moving up sides as they take the bend now. Then Faithful Friend on the inside. In the white is Noel's Milano, followed by Stone Park Where's last is Fabulous Tempo. And Velvet Madrid still leads. Ballymac John is teeing up the run, about to pounce perhaps. Although two finds more. Velvet Madrid comes to the home turn. Ballymac John in second place. Then in the red colours is Faithful Friend down the straight. They're beginning to bunch together. Velvet Madrid finding plenty. What a run on the front end from Madrid. Velvet Madrid, Stone Park West flashing over second. Ballymac John Trap 4 was back in third.
What a super performance from Peter Holland's runner, Velvet Madrid. She has really shown some guts there from the blue jacket. She's popped out, she's made all, she's not seen another rival. She was the best turned out as well, and she's landed the NottinghamGreyhounds.co.uk Standard Trophy and landed 350 quid to boot.
I've got to say that was the best race of the night. Best performance, of course, Ryoka Oshin. But in terms of an actual six-runner race, this was absolutely fantastic. So game, Velvet Madrid. But the pace of Ballymac John into that first bend, you just thought, wow, we've got race on here. But so game in front, but just withstanding the challenges. And even going into that third bend, Faithful Friend on the premises. Ballymac John renewing that effort. In behind, Stone Park Wes putting it down. But she was having none of it. She wanted to win this race, and that best turned out of all is almost becoming a bit of a tip in itself.
It is indeed. 2-5 for Velvet Madrid. Stone Park Wes has really got running late, and Ballymac John just clinging on to third. But you can see from a head-on perspective, everybody's pretty much stayed in their rightful lanes, because we've not had that for pretty much any race on the card so far.
No, absolutely. Straight lines into the first bend. You can just see, just as they approach the turn, the Ballymac John's just about to edge across, but there on the inside is Velvet Madrid. And fair play, came out of the Eclipse, got to the one heat, didn't she, beating Samba Kian. So maybe there's a bit of a form pointer to the final. Then went out behind Romeo Still in that not great condition, especially if you're behind.
Yeah.
Likes to be out there, likes to be dominating matters. She's a lady who likes to dominate, and she has on this occasion.
She has. It looks like 29.99. Goodness me, that's a run.
Great effort. 29.99 from Velvet Madrid. 30.04, a previous race, which was, of course, Magical Bertie.
Velvet Madrid has won our latest race, though, here at Nottingham, as we just had the look at the head-on. Here's another look at the race. I mean, she's just so gutsy, and she wouldn't be the biggest bitch either. She's just about touching 27 kilos. She's managed to get out ahead of the big boys that were coming for her in behind, and she's really put the pace down to the race down the back, and really, really impressive. Velvet Madrid, 16th win from 49 career starts. That is some going, and she's won a nice prize here at Nottingham. In second place was Stone Park Wes, and third Ballymac John. So at the moment, I think it's Gary, Jason and myself who've had winning naps as we go to Daryl. He's still got his nap to come.
Exactly, a late nap always gives you a chance. You stay alive for longer, Danny. Velvet Madrid wins at 3-1. I've got to say, when Ballymac John moved up after that incredible pace of the bend, I thought Ballymac John was about to go on, but Velvet Madrid was not going to be beaten by anybody tonight. It was so game. Brilliant run. 3-1. Stone Park Wes with a late run for second. Both, as we've been hearing, Eclipse semi-finalists. That makes that form look even stronger going into the final later. 7-4, and Ballymac John was third. A 6-4 favourite. Well done to the Hollands. Particularly good run then from Velvet Madrid.
There she is, beautiful Brindle, absolutely gorgeous, and she has won, and she knows she's won. She's very happy there on the podium. All the connections behind as well. I think we've got, is it a football team?
We have, yeah. Hinckley AFC. There's the young lads, of course. Their manager is in the house as well.
In the house.
A certain Joe Keneally manages these guys, and they're in really good form at the moment. They won at the weekend, so I want to hear more from Jason Barrison and Hinckley.
A brilliant performance by Velvet Madrid there, and with the the trainer, Peter Holland. Congratulations, Peter.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
An incredible performance, because to get in a contracted battle with Ballymac John and then come out the better, that's good.
Yes, very good. She got good early pace. I think that's what's won of the race, isn't it?
And a real win to win as well.
Yes, yes.
And do you know who else has got a real will to win? Hinckley AFC. Now, you may notice there's a lot of young men. We've not formed a new super group with Peter as the lead singer. Right, I'm going to cut now. The manager, you might know, Joe Keneally. Is that right?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
What's your name, sir?
Alex.
And you play?
Centre back.
And Joe is?
Our gaffer.
That's good. I was going to say, no swearing, we're live on telly, right? I've got to just pick someone out. Here's the man with the booze. Always go to the man with the booze. Your name is?
Jay.
And you play?
Right back.
And Joe is?
The gaffer.
Am I going to get any other answer than gaffer for Joe? Who's got another question? Right, here we go. You are?
Lucini.
You play?
Centre mid.
And Joe is?
The man.
Absolutely reprehensible, Hinckley FC, but you're all good footballers. Joe has told me you're great, and it was a brilliant performance by Velvet Madrid. Thanks, for Peter, for allowing us to do that. A wonderful, wonderful performance.
Yeah, I think Joe's second love, actually, after the Greyhounds, is his football team, and I think they're doing all right, actually.
I was just checking. The Midland League Division 1 champions they are. So, and I actually saw them a good few weeks ago. I didn't bring them much luck, but they've been, ever since I've not been there, they've won about 4 on the spin. So absolutely fine. Great bunch of guys. And they're well managed as well. You know, he's a good manager, is Joe. And it's kind of interesting to see him in that environment, because we're used to seeing him at the Dogs and what have you. But they're steeped in football, that the Keneally family anyway.
Yeah.
2 things in life that matter. Family aside, of course, top of the list. But football and greyhound racing and football. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
yeah. Well, I'll agree with the Greyhound side of things. Right, we are not, of course, stopping the show here at Nottingham. We are continuing into December, and we can tell you where we're off to next. Here it is. It's Toaster Racecourse. I cannot wait.
Yeah, this should be really special. This is the Christmas Bonanza. Toaster wanted to do something like the Night of Stars at Shelbourne Park, now the Winter Festival. So, big money races. I think there's 7 or 8 £3,000 for the winner races. There's also graded sweepstakes final, and it's topped off by the Bet365 Puppy Oaks final, £10,000 the winner. And fair play to Bet365, was originally slated, scheduled for the Sunday, the 22nd. They brought it back, said, yeah, absolutely, we want to join the party. Saturday night, 21st, a real pre-Christmas treat for Gone to the Dogs fans. So looking forward to that. It's going to be great racing. and plenty of money up for grabs.
And Pat Cooney, of course, always been a real big supporter
Top
of
man,
Greyhound, so great to see that he's just said, yeah, absolutely, put it on Saturday night, no problem at all. We've got 14 races as well that we'll be covering.
Home of the Derby.
It is, and we'll get through it, won't we? 14
races.
Topsy.
You'll be fine.
I'm not sure you're there, though. Anyway, we are looking back at the Puppy Derby from yesterday, and I love the puppies in action. This was an absolute belter.
Yeah, it was. I mean, very much a Romford. Well, it was a Romford 1-2, 1-2-3, but fantastic off the front Ballymac Kobe. But it was Bombay Birch that came through to win for Paul Young. Sensational effort. At this stage, you felt that Maxine Locke's Ballymac Kobe was away, but he really did knuckle down. And I think this is a really good English puppy derby. And just proving too strong, wasn't it, Track 4, landing the spoils. Well done to Paul Young. Great effort. And well, Romford just took over Toaster.
And he's another one that's the son of Broadstrand Bonner. You can see how strong they are in the finish. Bombay Birch, the winner, 29.60 was the time. Beat Ballymac Kobe. Do-Gooder was third. Do-Gooder, I think, will do well over 6 bends. So you've heard it here first. He's going to go over 6 bends. I can see it.
So it wasn't Kim Billingham, of course, Do-Gooder. So, yeah, it wasn't quite a 1-2-3 for Romford. But, hey.
Bombay Birch, though, was the good winner of the English Puppy Derby yesterday at Toaster. Now, we have got a GoFundMe page going on at the moment. It's a bit of a special.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think people close to Greyhound racing will know the story of Tommy White. He is the son of Sean White. You can see the picture, of course. That was Broadway Murty winning the Northamptonshire Sprint. Now, Tommy was involved in an accident in September. Life-changing injuries, as you can see. A GoFundMe page is set up to help fund the rehabilitation. Long road ahead, but he's such an inspirational young man. And the Greyhounds are so centred to this. I think since the accident, and I think Sean had to send the Greyhounds away from the family, they came back on Tommy's insistence. They're in hospital, of course, in George's, well looked after there. But the Greyhounds have helped his improvement and day-to-day, with the likes of Broadway still winning the Bet Goodwin Maiden Sprint of the weekend. Broadway Murty. I think in the last 3 weekends since those Greyhounds have been back in South London, they've had doubles, courtesy of Broadway Murty and Broadway Still. They are racing for Tommy.
Yeah.
So all the information is there. They're trying to get to £100,000. I've not checked over the last couple of weeks. I was just so impressed by how that amount rocketed. They're a great family. They've been through plenty, but I think you can see from the pictures there the smile on his face. And this is yesterday. So he's left St George's. There, all the staff, the nurses, the doctors have looked after him, sending him. He's going off to Queen Mary's Roehampton, where the rehabilitation will continue, and of course down the line prosthetics and the Greyhounds will. He wants to be back there. Yeah, he wanted those Greyhounds back at the family home. Trained effectively almost in the garden. He's a wonderful story, Sean. Always has been. Tooting Beck, fishmonger at Broadway Market. Tommy is right-hand man, absolutely. And it's an incredible story. It's inspiring in many ways, and there are the details there.
If you can scan the QR code to visit the GoFundMe appeal page, make sure you can give every little helps, as we say. So make sure you scan that QR code. It'll take you straight to the GoFundMe page. Right, we now have the build-up to the big one, Daryl.
Wow, it's come round quick, hasn't it, Danny? We are getting very excited. The Premier Greyhound Racing Eclipse Final, £20,000 race on the way. There's the lineup for you, beginning with Romeo Command in Trap 1, of course. 1 of 3 for Pat Janssens and 1 of 2 for Dave Firminge, big competition winner here last year. Romeo still runs in 2 for Pat Janssens, has won both heat and semi-final. That was a red-hot semi-final last week. Antigua Kestrel for Kevin Hutton. He will join Mark Wallace and Charlie Lister on 3 winners. That's the record number for trainers since this race went to Nottingham back in 1987. Sam Bakian, the local dog for Colin Wilton. Wiki Ned in 5's got to overcome the tricky draw, but is on a 7-timer. He is looking for a 4th Category 1 win this year. That is unbelievable. And Slick Sentinel on the outside has got the draw, of course. Patrick's second runner for Keith Alsop in Trap 6. Let's get more with Joe and with Gary.
Here we go, what a race this is, honestly. Romeo Command, Romeo Steel, Antigua Kestrel, Sambiki and Wiki Ned, Slick Sentinel. 4 to 5 here, Wiki Ned. The 12 to 1 we've seen earlier, Slick Sentinel is well and truly gone.
Yeah, I'll tell you what as well, Joe. You people say about why don't people come racing. Now, look, I love this game. I started off as a kennel boy in the game years ago. The favourite here is 5 to 4 against on the exchanges. Now, it's 4 to 5 here. People are going to come here and take the 4 to 5. Does it encourage people to come? Look, I know it's a great final, the Eclipse. I know we think Wiki Ned, it's a spin of a coin, even money we made it. We thought it would go bigger. But it's 4 to 5 here on the course here. But if you want to play on the exchanges, it's, you know, not being funny, it's 5 to 4 against Joe. Surely the bookies can go, I've got to whisper it because the bookies are all behind. Without bookmakers, we ain't got a game. But if it's 5 to 4 on the exchanges, surely you can go even money. Can't? And it ain't a certainty at even money, is it, Joe? But I tell you what, that last race, the cheer here from the local crowd, the local dog one, and we've got a bookie behind us, Stevie Choldrup. He's been here 43 years as a bookie at Nottingham Dogs, and even he was cheering the winner home there. I think the bookie's got a lot on that race, but will they get a lot here, Wiki Ned?
He'll be open for Sambiki, won't he?
I would go evens here if I was a bookie, but, you know, I run out of chalk when I was a bookie, twice in a month. I've done me money, but even money, Wiki Ned. I think evens is a fair price, and I think the punt bookies here should go evens, Joe.
Yep, Slick Sentinel for me on the outside, just a fantastic draw. People love a good draw, Gal. That's why the 12 to 1's no longer available.
Exactly right. You know, Greyhound racing's all about a good draw. When Wiki Ned ran in the Steel City Cup, we said he was in trap 1. He can't win if he missed a break. He was 5 lengths behind going round the first bend. He got a run and got up on the line to win. But that was in trap 1. He's in 5 now. If he comes out, he's going to win. But is he going to come out, Joe?
We will soon see. What a race we have in store, guys.
What a race we have in store. Evens, Levelsy Devils for Wiki Ned, who is 12 from 15 in his career. He's had a couple of seconds as well. There's only one race that he's been out of the front 2 in his career. He's won his last 6 and he's won 2 Category 1s in that time. I think this would be his 4th Cat 1 this year if he was to land the Premier Greyhound Racing Eclipse. Absolutely superb. And we can have a look at Wiki Ned's semi-final from last week. He beat Antigua Kestrel in the snow.
Yeah, conditions far worse than they are tonight, thankfully, but the track held out well. Some very good times, great performances, and nipping up on the inside there was Wiki Ned. But it was going to be a battle, wasn't it, with Antigua Kestrel? I think out the back this was Barntic Bear, who missed out, but nevertheless the first 2 went clear into the third bend, and holding Antigua Kestrel all the way to the wire was Wiki Ned. But you'd have to say the runner-up has run a really good race. Yeah, he's no back number here. No. Kept up the gallop, and Barntic Bear just going out. But of course now heads to the Coral Olympic trial very well at Hove.
Now we have got them about to head behind the boxes. Just an update on the tipping competition. We've got Brodie Summers leading the way at the moment on 8.15. Adam Smart, Gail Reeve, Kayla Aspin, Steve Marjoram, Sarah Spiller, Lester Smith-Terry, Robert Allen and Warren Todd are all just in behind, chasing the tail of Brodie Summers, who's 5 from 5, which is quite remarkable, really. And just to say that Tommy White's recovery and rehab fund has raised just shy of 60k at the moment. So we want to boost that up to £100,000. That is our target. But here are the dogs for the Premier Greyhound Racing Eclipse final.
Yep, Romeo Command, Trap 1, Dave Firmage, who's bred and owns Romeo Command for Patrick Jansen. Romeo Still, same owner and breeder, Dave Firmage. Once again, Patrick Jansen's. Kevin Hutton for Mick Freshwater, Antigua Kestrel in 3. Samba Kean, the best turned out, sponsored by Time for Samba Racing and Colin Wilton. Wiki Ned in Trap 5 for Neil McGregor, Jimmy Fennick of Newcastle, and Slick Sentinel running out of Trap 6, the third of Patrick's runners for Keith Alsop.
Who wins it?
I'm going to go with Romeo Command. He's an absolute star, Wiki Ned. If he bangs out the box, he's got every chance of doing an eye on the storm, but he's got Slick Sentinel on his outside. He's got Romeo Still on his inside. He's going to have to do it right. He can do it right. Romeo Command for me.
Now we're heading off to Darrell. Let's see if he can call his nap home in 1.
Thank you, Dan. It's quite a race, isn't it? Premier Greyhound Racing Eclipse. You know, the last 7 winners of this race have gone through the competition unbeaten. 2 of these finalists are unbeaten, Romeo Steele and Wiki Ned. But no dogs won out of Trap 5 since Eye on the Storm in 2009. 15 years since Trap 5 last provided the winner. Well, Wiki Ned put the stats right. Here is the hare, £20,000, but the honour of winning the Eclipse, one of the best end of the season races. Here's the hare. race away and off they go. Wicked Ned showing wonderful pace, got out alongside Romeo Still as they bound to the corner. Romeo Command in the second rank on the inside, might get a run now though. Out deep, Slick Sentinel, who is straightening up, and in behind those, I got back to Antigua Kestrel and then Sam Bakian, and Romeo Command has gone on. Romeo still battling on the inside in second, trying to challenge. Wicked Ned is only fourth, Slick Sentinel trying to stay on. Romeo Command by 2. They go to the turn. Romeo Command for Dave Firminger, and Patrick Janssen is bounding home and takes the Premier Greyhound Racing Eclipse. Slick Sentinel, I think, got second over Romeo Still, but it's Romeo Command who is the Eclipse champion.
Wow. Wow is all I can say. Romeo Command 34 from 52. That was a race of changing fortunes, Hobsy.
Extraordinary. Teamwork makes the dream work, certainly where Patrick Janssen is concerned, because his team have ended up landing the spoils for Romeo Command, the Premier Greyhound Racing Eclipse champion 2024. Wicked Ned did everything that he could to get to the bend in front, but as expected, Romeo Still met him at the turn, and there was always the chance that could happen, and Fair Play tried to overcome that. But Emily is going to get instant reaction from Rhea.
Romeo Command, a very, very impressive winner of the Eclipse, and not just a winner for you, Rhea, but a 1, 2, 3. But I mean, you can hear how much that meant for you from the middle. He's just a superstar, isn't he?
He's just been an absolute superstar for our kennel, and you know, he's coming up to retirement age. He's 4 years old, and the old boy does us proud every time. So I'm delighted. I'm so happy.
I think the two early pace dogs in the race, say Wicked Ned and your Romeo Still as well, broke, but he took his chance so well, and that's what makes him so professional.
Yeah, when I see Wicked Ned broke, I thought, oh, we could be in trouble here, but you know, our two dog has so much early, and it did cause a bit of bother at the first bend, and he's such a strong running dog that, you know, once I turned second, I thought he was in with a great chance, but I'm delighted.
Thank you, Rhea. Let's go get the trophy.
Thank you.
Oh my word, what a run. That lad, you know, he's stolen the hearts of many in greyhound racing, I think, because obviously he had a bit of a layoff. He's come back, he's won 34 races, he's won, you know, countless top races, and Romeo Command, he's a dog that will go down in history.
Absolutely, you know, he's a British Breeders' champion. He was runner-up in the Derby a couple of years back as well, bred by Dave Firminger, owned by Dave Firminger. He's always run this track very well. But you have to say that, you know, he's going to say thank you to Romeo Still, because he pretty much denied Wicked Ned that run. His teamwork, and even Slick Sentinel on the outside, such a fast performer. But you give Romeo Command that sort of opportunity off the second bend, and there's no greyhound in the country who's going to back run him into the third bend. Fair play to Romeo Still. He made a real good fist of it. But you could see with trouble in behind thereafter, it's about the Janssens 3, and there's no stopping this. It'd be great to hear from Dave Firminger, of course. You know, he's a Derby winning owner and breeder. And this is, you know, I kind of think that, you know, Rhea's, I'm surprised there's not tears in the eye, because they've been through a lot with Romeo Command.
Now, we're just watching the head on here, and 3's got his head right up in the air, Antigua Kestrel, but you can see Wicked Ned, all he wants is to dive over to that rail. He's met there by Romeo Still as they head up to the first bend. Romeo Command has actually come and edged right out of box 1, and you can see these two, they're just going to meet at the first bend, and this is where Wicked Ned just gets that little bit of bother. Romeo Command, you can see him going, oh, there's going to be a gap on the inside. He dives for that gap up the rail, and he goes through it, and that is where his racing brain has really come to the fore, and he's managed to take the race by the scruff of the neck down the far side. He's really run well to go up the inside of Romeo Still. I mean, he edges out again because he's more rail, well, middle to rails really, isn't he, Romeo Command? And we said beforehand, the red jacket might not have been his best, but actually in this race, the way it's panned out, it's perfect.
Absolutely, with Romeo Still next door, not going to be taking the rail off of him, and that was the case. Plenty of room into the first bend. I mean, you know, Jimmy's going to look at this, and I'm sure, you know, Neil the same. And I think they couldn't have done much more. You know, he's run his race. He just couldn't quite get across. You swap those traps around, you've got a different Eclipse result. There's no question about that. And of course, Romeo Command supporters will say, well, you never know. Behind, could they have got Wicked? I'm not too sure about that, but nevertheless, just the way it's worked out. But he so deserves this. He absolutely deserves this. Romeo Command, you know, he's the apple of their eye. And yeah, Patrick would be delighted I think he's been trained to perfection. It's always been one race at a time with Romeo Command.
Yeah.
Given that he had potentially a career-ending injury, 6-7 months ago, he was off the track for a while, and he's been nursed back, and one race at a time. I actually think he's just as good as he was, if not better.
100%. I could not agree with you more. So Trap 1, Romeo Command takes out the Premier Greyhound Racing Eclipse final. Darryl, what's the full result?
Well, the full result is that Patrick Janssens, as you say, Danny, has absolutely had it right off there with a 1-2-3, which is incredible, isn't it? But Romeo Command, what a servant he's been for Dave Firminger of Patrick Janssens, of course. Derby runner-up last year. Goodness me, if I went through his career record, we'd be here till the end of the programme. Slick Sentinel 7-1 in second. Romeo Steele got third at 5-1. Anybody clever enough to put them in that order for Patrick Janssens' TriCasters won over £93 at a £1 stake. Well done, Romeo Command. Somebody napped that, didn't they?
Romeo Command lands the nap for our commentator tonight, Darryl Williams.
DW, yeah.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
So that's a couple of winning naps tonight. We're still waiting for yours.
I know.
We haven't forgotten, Hobbsy.
No, I'm trying to save the best for last in terms of the price potentially. But no, I was, sweet on the chance of Romeo Command. 29.87. The boy in the red jacket has landed the spoils, and well done to Dave and Nicola Firminger. They're here with the family, and I think they're going to enjoy it.
I think these are the shots, we miss on TV. The shots of the family, the shots of the connections. Look how much love Romeo Command is getting from the next generation as well, which is what we love to see here on Gone to the Dogs Live, brought to you by Star
Look at
Sports.
the smile.
Absolutely sensational. I mean, these dogs, once they hook you in, you're in for life. So that's what we need. We need more people hooked in to this wonderful sport, because look at him. Stunner.
He is a star. Anyway, he's used to the winner's podium, of course. He has one of the best strike rates in open race company. 34 wins now from, 52 starts. The trophy presentation going to be made by Gary Nash, the MD of Premier Greyhound Racing. £20,000 to the winner tonight. And a very proud Team Janssens and Team Firminger. Not for the first time.
Definitely not for the first time, and certainly not for the last. But Romeo Command, sensational winner of the PGR Eclipse. Right, we're going to head back to Emily.
Well, the winner of the Eclipse stake was Romeo Command, trained by Patrick Janssens. We will start off with Patrick. Patrick, perfect result, 1-2-3.
Yeah, he did, 5-2, went to the corner, 2 held his position, and they come together a bit, and he's an old boy, he's clever, he's got track craft, and he took all the opportunity, So pleased for this dog. He won. This is his second Group 1 now. He had a broken hock, he come back from that. He had the goalpost at the Derby, was second. He's a fantastic greyhound. He's a credit, an absolute credit.
I said to Ria at the pickup, and the 2 and the 5 were pacing off into the bend, but he took his chance so well, such a professional dog.
He's a very good tracker, this dog. Sometimes you see him go at Toaster or other tracks to the bend, and you think, how's he going to get round here? And he always finds a way. He knows where the gaps appear, and he's a dog that won at Monmore, Central Park, Hove, Nottingham, Toaster, Doncaster. He's a very good all-rounder,
He's been in so many competitions. He's won so many competitions. He's 4 years old in January, and he's still winning top-class races like the Eclipse. Is just a testament to you and the dog as well.
Yeah, it is. He missed sort of almost 4 months with a hook injury, and that's why this year's Derby was all the rush and this and that. But then he come back and won on Derby final night, the British Bred race, and after that he won the Greyhound Stud Book, and. And we bypassed really the Central Park Kent Derby and to come here, So, me and Dave will have a decision what we do after this, but probably the British Bred Derby. We might retire, we don't know. But he's running so well, so it's hard to retire dogs when they're running well.
We've had 3 Gone to the Dogs live shows, and you've won 2 of our finals so far. So just on 2024, it's been a really, really great year for you. Yeah,
I want to thank you all for putting all this on, and I think it's fantastic what you're doing, and I want to thank Nottingham for putting all this on, and the hospitality was great. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Perfect. Thanks, Patrick, and well done. We're going to get a word with owner and breeder Dave Firminger. I know how much this dog means to you, and of course he does, because he's a true superstar.
Yeah, he's been everything you would want in a greyhound. He's been in
He's won so many races. He's been in so many finals. It's nice for him to get another big win. He won the British Bred race here. You know, from coming back earlier in the year with his hock injury, yeah, it's been a dream come true. Absolutely. I've got to keep trying to breed another one now, though.
You had 2 in the final tonight.
Yes, we did. The younger dog, Romeo Steele, he ran very, very well, actually. He's just finally found his trapping boots. We've always known he was a very fast dog, but he's been making a mess at the start. So he won at Perry Barn, he won the heat and the semi here, and I think he's ran really, really well tonight. He's paced up really well on the inside. This stretches him, so 480 will suit him better, but Patrick will find plenty of races for him. All right.
Perfect. Thanks, Dave, and well done.
Thank you.
And that was Connections of Romeo Command, a very impressive winner of the 2024 Eclipse Stakes.
Yeah, what a run, Gav. What a run that was for Romeo Commander. What a race, by the way.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race, and I've got to say, all the old-timers at home, I know Basher said it's a young man's game, but we all wanted to be against the 5-dog there, didn't we, at the price? And, you know, odds on, that was no even. But it was very unlucky, Wiki Ned. It nearly made the corner. But this is what this game's all about, Graham Racing. Nearly. You should know, Joe. You've owned dogs all your life. And if, biggest word in racing, if. But take nothing away. And a 1, 2, 3. But funny enough, I'd done something yesterday for Nottingham Stadium, and they said, can you do a little piece who you fancy? And I said, wouldn't it be lovely if some bookie put up a forecast, not a forecast, a tricast, that Patrick Jensen has the first 3? And look what he's done. He's had the first 3. And did I have it? 93 quid? Did I have it? Of course I never
Did he?
had it. But, you know, it's one of them things. I've also got to mention Stanley Dow, who won the Irish Tipping Challenge at the weekend. And there were some big names in that. And he won it in Ireland, you know, for putting a race up there. And as I said, there were some big names in there. Stanley done it. And that race there, he texted me. And funnily enough, I never put it out. I forgot. I'm getting old, Stanley. I'm sorry. He said, I fancy the inside dogs. I don't want to be on the outside dogs. But that's what this game's all about, a game of ifs. But it's been a good night's racing, hasn't it, Joe? Very disappointing in the crowd, though. I've got to keep on saying it, you know. It's so disappointing. It's a big night. 20 grand to a winner. £20,000. This place should be absolutely full. And free admission as well. And Danny's tipped her nap that's won as well, isn't she? The Queen of Greyhound Racing upstairs. People should be coming Greyhound Racing, shouldn't they, Joe?
They should be, Gal. And like we said, we've had the sad news of Crayford. What would you change? What is it that we need to do different here?
What I can't understand with Greyhound Racing is that I hope some of the big names are watching this show tonight. They should be. And you get industry SPs when you go in a betting shop or when you have a bet. And when you're playing on an horse race, if there's 6 runners, the percentage is usually about 2% a runner. So, the bookies have got 12% in their favour. When you have a dog bet, it's about 26% every race. So the bookies are taking out 26% at home. And it's too much, Joe. 26. Look, it's still 6 runners in a race. You've got to name the winner and a loser what you want to play on. So why is it a different play? Why is it a different playing field, Greyhound Racing to horse racing? Let's go the same, 2% with the industry SPs like they do in horse racing, and the game might be flying again, Greyhound Racing. You've got our man Mike. He's putting all his money into it. Mike Davis, give him a chance. Go 2%. If you go 2% the same as the horse racing, you'll get people back at the Greyhound track. I'm sorry, Joe. Look, I'm enjoying tonight, but I've got to say what I think. And I think any of the industry bigwigs, if you're listening, go the same. Give Greyhound Racing a chance to come where it should be, up there with horse racing.
There we go, guys. You heard it from the main man.
Sunday, I'm cool. I've got one of my things.
You heard it from the main man.
Yeah, it was interesting, Gary, wasn't it? Over in Ireland at the weekend at Shelton Park, they were taking out just 12% on the tote, and that meant the bookmakers on track had to play ball. They had to try and compete, and I know Paul Lawrence did a little summary of tote versus SP at Shelburne, and the tote was coming out on top on most occasions. So that's another way maybe of trying to improve the system. And of course they were putting a lot of money in to make sure the pools were lively as well in the tote on Saturday night. Right, let's go on to the 928. This is the Gents Trophy final. Trap 1 is No Better Feeling, who's set to run in the Olympic on Saturday for Chris Faraday. So good luck here and good luck later in the week. The Puppy Classic runner-up Gunslinger would have been many people's banker of the night. Would have been mine, but 4 to 9. No great shakes for price, but he's flying. 3 is vacant, 4 is answering for those Value Racing Club guys. And Patty Antons, of course, Platinum Heatwave for Julia Wellen will go off a big price in 5. And Crafty Elmo for Colin Wilton, the Wilton Racing runner in 6 is 10 to 1. Now, Star Sports tonight giving you golden opportunities to get involved in the racing. And if you are contemplating getting an account, remember they're sponsoring us, they're helping us out tonight. They're making sure this programme is on air. So 50% back as a free bet for new customers using the promo code GTTD. Danny.
I can tell you that Darryl was practicing that GTTD because he was not quite nailing it in the rehearsals. But also, I feel like it was a slight dig at my price earlier on of my 2 to 7 nap. But at least we both had a winning nap. And yours
So is the
still to
odds
come.
on Gunslinger your next best?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Go for the
studied
double.
the card so hard, Hobbsy, that those were the two that I've picked out. To be fair, I do like Gunslinger. I think he's a really nice type, and I think he's a good dog for the Mark Wallace and the MWD partnership. But
Not wrong
we
there.
shall see how he gets on.
Here we go, Gal. There's the betting. 7-2, trap 1, no better feeling. 2-1, trap 2, Gunslinger. 9-2, trap 4, answering. 33-1, trap 5, Platinum Heatwave. And 18-1, Crafty Almo in 6. What do you fancy, Gal?
Yeah, it's all about a Marky Wallace here, and it Gunslinger, trap 2, 2's on, short price. They're flying on the inside, aren't they? You know, they're absolutely flying, the dogs on here. There haven't had many outside traps winter night, and the boys, all the boys said that earlier. I'm going to be with a 2-dog, Marky Wallace, Gunslinger. One for Emily.
Two for me and Gal.
So everybody's on Gunslinger, and he's also the best turned out as well, paraded by Mark Wallace, who gets the 50 quid from Time Greyhound Nutrition. Our thanks to Time for sponsoring the best turned out once again here on Gone to the Dogs Live, brought to you, of course, by Star Sports. They're going in, Darryl.
They certainly are, Danny. We're almost getting ahead of ourselves here. The 928's come around quicker than I expected. The Arch Gents 480 trophy final. Then Gunslinger's been in brilliant form. He's won 4 of his last 6 for the MWD partnership. And Mark Wallace, he will go to the boxes. A warm order here. And can he justify that support? We're about to find out. They race away. Off they go. He wasn't particularly quickly away. And then he took a bump, Gunslinger, as it all gets rather crowded on the inside. And Crafty Elmer says, thank you very much. Here's no better feeling, though. Moving through to second place. Then Platinum Heatwave now taken on by Gunslinger, who's up into third place. Still plenty on. No better feeling. Puppy Classic runner-up. Chris Faraday's charge for the Iffy Trap owners. 6 Crafty Elmo out on the outside. Gunslinger with 2.5 to find down the straight. No better feeling. No better feeling if you're on the red. In front, Gunslinger can't get on terms. Only second the favourite. And Crafty Elmo's got third. But No Better Feeling has won the Gents final.
Now, we are hoping that Platinum Heatwave is okay. That will be the main thing. But No Better Feeling has won here at Nottingham for our latest race, the 11th of the day. The Arc Gents 480-metre trophy final goes the way of No Better Feeling. Gunslinger has not quite managed to peg him back. For obvious reasons, we're not showing the replay.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair play to No Better Feeling. He has run his race. Well done to Monmouth trainer Chris Faraday and the Iffy Trap Syndicate. Well, it was certainly not an Iffy Trap for No Better Feelings. Absolutely made the most of the inside and try as he could. Gunslinger couldn't get to No Better Feeling, who's proving a really nice type for Chris Faraday and the crew. That's a 6th win from 24 starts, winning the Arc Gents 480-metre trophy, which is effectively the GoFundMe Tommy White Stakes. So once again, if you can, possibly, donate, then please do to the GoFundMe Tommy White.
Yeah, you can find that on the GoFundMe. It's Tommy White's Recovery and Rehabilitation Fund. If you do Google that, you will find the GoFundMe page for Tommy White. We are trying to get to that £100,000 target. But one No Better Feeling has won.
Yeah, just seeing Platinum Heatwave, Danny, just being carried off the track. We'll get the best attention, of course, back in the vets room, and we will let you know when we have more information, I'm sure. No Better Feeling at 100 to 30 has beaten Gunslinger, the 4 to 9 favourite, and Crafty Elmo took third place there in the Gents Trophy final.
So we have just one more race to come this evening. I feel, Hobbsy, like it's absolutely whizzed by.
It has absolutely whizzed by. I always thought it would. I always thought this would be slightly different to our Yarmouth was extraordinary. Their biggest night of the year. Romford on a Friday night, amazing. This was very much for the purists. On Monday night at Nottingham.
Yep.
One of the best races of the year, an absolute classic in terms of the Eclipse. Brilliant lineup, great semi-finals, incredible heat entry as well, and just one of the last major four-bend competitions of the year. And then next stop, our final show of 2024, Toaster with the Christmas Bonanza, which is kind of variety is the spice of life. There'll be something for everyone there, including the Bet365 Puppy Oaks final.
And 14 races to boot, so that will be a marathon rather than a sprint. Right, we are going to look back at yesterday's action from Crayford Greyhound Stadium. We did, of course, have the J&K Coach Tours Gold Collar final, won by I Am's of Sydney, who broke the track record and absolutely bolted up.
Well, this was an absolutely extraordinary performance from John Mullins' Irons of Sydney. Broke out in front, and anyone who knows Irons of Sydney would know what an absolute powerhouse performer he is. He went on to win by something, I think it was 11 1/4 lengths. Absolutely extraordinary performance from Irons of Sydney, and dipping under the 33 seconds barrier. No ground has ever done that before. Absolutely smashed the track record, did Irons of Sydney, in 32.85, beating, I think, Mays Highland Reels track record, another big race winner, of course, winning the gold collar, the J&K Coach Tours gold collar for John Mullins, second win in the competition for him, and of course his father, his late father, Pat, won it, I think, in 1980 with Sport Promoter. So it's a race the family absolutely love. On a bittersweet night for Crayford.
I Am's of Sydney, though, did take out the J&K Coach Tours gold collar in fine style. Right, we're heading back to Jason Beresford.
No better feeling, a brilliant winner of the Gents 480-metre trophy. And Diane Wood?
It is, yeah.
Kennel Hand?
Kennel Hand.
Owner?
Owner.
Are you, by any chance, a Boston fan? Do you remember the group Boston?
No.
One of their big hits was More Than a Feeling.
That's it, yes, I remember that.
Obviously, we do hope that Platinum Heatwave will ultimately be OK, but a thrilling victory for No Better Feeling, and it was lovely seeing your smile afterwards.
Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, we've had this dog, we had him in February, we've had him in 2 Cut 1 finals, Cut 2 final. Just missed out some good dogs like Wickenhead and March on Freddie, so, you know, it's nice to win one.
And absolutely beautiful.
He is, he's gorgeous. He came over on Valentine's Day, so the girls called him Valentino, so it's a bit weird when you hear him shout Val across the middle.
And I'm going to, it's unlike me to have a bet, but I'll take any odds that you like, that he's absolutely pampered to the raw.
Oh, he is. I mean, Chris and the girls at the kennels, they do a fabulous job with this dog. You know, we couldn't wish for a better kennel for him.
He's a beautiful boy, and you're a darling of a lady, if you don't mind me saying so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jason.
Top job, Jason Beresford, the newest member of the Gone to the Dogs live team, and we're thrilled to have him with us. Now, we are going to have a look back at one of my favourite competitions of the year, which, of course, is a hurdles comp. It's the Grand National from yesterday. It's sponsored, of course, by Ladbrokes, and here it is. She is sensational. She is Signet Harper on the outside. She jumps with aplomb, and I absolutely love her.
Absolutely. Unlike, it wasn't quite a Ricky Holloway 1-2 as it was for John Mullins, with Righty finishing second, of course, in the gold collar. This was Signet Harper for Tony Brearley and Mary, absolutely flying into that first bench. She becomes a rare British-bred Grand National winner, a rare bitch winner of the Grand National. The lady absolutely powered home to success there, beating Chippy Brady in his second Grand National. Very emotional night. I mean, obviously the news that Greyhound Racing absolutely has been rocked by with Crayford. Interesting there last night. Lots of emotion, lots of sadness, lots of anger, I have to say. But two major finals, obviously with the gold collar and the Grand National. Let's hope that's not the last Grand National at Crayford. Let's hope that's not the last gold collar. There is, I think, a glimmer of hope, but I think there's more anger than anything else, Danny, in terms of what's happened, in terms of the statement that was released, kind of suggesting that there was dwindling popularity. The company, I should say, the staff themselves, in terms of the numbers going through the gate at Crayford this year, have exceeded expectations. So, you know, Greyhound Racing really does have to be aware of this situation. We don't want to lose any more Greyhound tracks. We're going to lose Perry Bar. Yes, they're going to build Wolverhampton. We're going to lose Crayford, very much a staple, so popular. It's ripping the heart out of that community, and you could feel it there. Crayford, if you were going to build a new track tomorrow, you probably wouldn't build it on Crayford. But nevertheless, there is something about that place.
Yeah.
It's absolutely magical. And over the years, Yes Over Racing has been very much key to what's gone on there. There's no doubt about that. Reduce the number of meetings there per week and keep the track alive, because there are so many people that will be heartbroken, and that was so evident last night, despite the great performances on the track. As I said, it was a bittersweet night.
And also, it will potentially kill the hurdles game as well, because we've only got Crayford and Hove that do have hurdles racing, and I, for one, obviously, I'm hurdles' biggest fan. I am really hoping that we've got that little bit of hope. Right, we have got news of our last race with Emily.
Yes, thanks, Danny. Some very, very good news on our last race, that Trap 5 Platinum Heatwave did just cramp. So thankfully, no serious injuries, just cramp, and everything will be okay. Meanwhile, I'm very pleased to say I'm joined by Lacey Moran, duty manager here at Nottingham, here to chat about some of the things that are going on at Nottingham. But Lacey, tonight is one of the biggest nights of the year, the Eclipse. How has it gone so far?
Brilliantly, credit to Romeo Command, absolutely runs this track brilliantly. Patrick, Team Janssen say, this potentially isn't his track, but he's shown what he's capable of. He won the British Bred final here earlier in March. Last March, should I say. So absolutely unreal dog to own and train for the Patrick Janssen kennel.
I had some really, really good competitions at Nottingham so far this year, but there's still one more to come in the national sprint, so plenty more going on at Nottingham for the rest of the year.
Yeah, so the National Sprint Finals, December the 23rd, we're sold out, luckily, on the 6th and the 13th of December. In the restaurant, we've still got general admission and winning deal packages available. We've sold out in the restaurant on Boxing Day as well, but again, we've just got general admission tickets available from then. But we race every Monday and Friday evening here, so lots of availability, lots of things going on.
So plenty going on for the rest of the year, but also January and February you offer lots of things in the restaurant to attract people to the track.
Yeah, so no competitions in January and February, getting ready for the British Bred in March. So we offer 20% off every Monday and Friday, and that's off the standard restaurant package, which includes your admission, a 3-course meal, your race card and full table service for your drinks, bets and food.
I understand you do get some nice crowds here, particularly on a Friday night. Always fairly busy?
Yeah, so I'd say normal Friday for us in the restaurant is anywhere between 200 and 250. The restaurant can actually fit 390, so selling out on those 3 dates already. It's going to be busy here, that's for sure. Downstairs, this Friday we've got about 300 pre-booked already. That's without anyone coming in and walking in and paying on the evening. So, to say it's winter, it's quite cold out here tonight. It's really good.
Perfect. Thanks, Lacey, and best of luck with the festive period.
Thank you very much.
Now, the caring and welfare of greyhounds is, of course, a lifetime occupation, and Home for Hounds do such excellent work, and I'm very pleased to say I've got Lisa here.
That's right, yes, Lisa, that's me, yep.
And somebody very rudely said in her Brummie accent, and she didn't want to talk, but I'm going to make her do it now, Amanda.
Hello, good evening.
Now, of course, Lisa, you're here raising money tonight.
We are, yes, for Home Run Hounds. Obviously, we're raising money to try and make people aware that once the greyhounds have finished racing, they do need love and attention and affection. They need a new home. They need to be looked after. Yeah.
Now, these lovely two have got homes already, haven't we? Now, we have... Who do we have here?
Moment, this is Gift.
Oh, these are looking for homes.
Yes, they're looking for homes. This is Gift here, and this is Rocky. And Rocky and Gift are both looking for homes. But you've got to be quick because they're moving out very fast at the moment. Yes, very popular.
Well, I'm not surprised whatsoever because they're absolutely adorable. They really are. Now we're going to go down and see some others now. And Claire Butler, one of the trustees who's joined me. Now, Claire is, come on, you're always monkeying around. Let's Peter K this. Come on, Peter K this. Valuable work you do, Claire.
It is, thank you very much. It's hard work, but it's very, very necessary. We are now 4 branches. And from January we've homed 132 dogs already, and we have an amazing team of volunteers without whom it would not be possible.
And talking of those volunteers, let's have a look if we could just come round here. Tell me who we've got here.
So we've got Lauren, we've got Helen, and we've got Guy, and we've got Chase, Kiwi, Dandy and Sid.
and people are obviously welcome to come up and just see how adorable, how placid in nature they are.
The greyhounds insist on a cuddle from everyone. They love to lean against you. That's their way of cuddling you. So please come and say hello to the dogs. And if you're feeling generous or you've had a little bit of a touch on the betting and you want to put a couple of quid in the bucket, we won't turn you away from that either.
You know, you've convinced me. If reincarnation is a thing, I wouldn't mind coming back as a greyhound.
Well, you could come and live at my house, Jason. I'd tickle your tummy.
No, right, just for that. Whilst we were talking beforehand, you said that we'd have a big finale. We need a big finale to raise awareness. Are we going to do the kick?
Let's do it.
Let's do the kick!
Yay!
He just adds so much value, doesn't he, to the programme? I could just watch it all night with Jason. And can we do some more races, please? Trap 1 has won 5 times at Nottingham tonight and might well win 6 if the betting is to be heeded. Suleika's Tipster on the inside. Semi-final Eclipse. Semi-finalist in the Eclipse at 30 to 100. Lox's Forest is in 2 for Jason Gray. Kilgarran J in 3 for Paul and Timmins. I'm still getting over Jason. Thor Oddinson, lightly raced dog. Chris Faraday looking for a quick double. And then Glenhead Sam for Neil Chapman. And Crafty Kaboom on the outside for Colin Wilton. And here, with a bit more sense, is Gary and Joe.
Here we go. Hobbs' nap in 4 here, Gal. Thor Oddinson.
Well, our Jonathan, he's been at the game a long time. I think me and him between us. Well, I don't want to mention that. Sorry, John. Look, the bookies here, honestly, they're having a blinding night. And, they've even just called him for security court now. Security court at Nottingham State. We don't want to hear that, do we, being a punter? But 5 to 2 on Trap 1. I know he looks a good thing, Peter Arndt, and he was desperate early on, Peter. That dog that led, didn't he? Got beat on the line. But would you want to bet 5 to 2 on? I think I'll go with Uncle Hobbsy here. I'll go with a 4 dog. By the way, you said this dog's running in Brighton next week. They've entered it for the Regency, haven't they, 4?
Yeah, no better feeling who won the last race and Thor Oddinson for Chris. They're both going into the Olympics starting on Saturday. So he's got a fancy chance if you want to be taking on the best there.
And that one at Toaster, when he finished second, the more time you look, I'm trying to get myself away from the one dog, but I think the more times you look, if I was playing here, I'll have a little forecast here, 1 to beat 2. Suleika's Tipster to beat Lockleach Forest. He come from last to first last time in the graded race 2 to get up. So I'm going to play a straight forecast 1 and 2. And we've had a good night time. Makes a change, Joe, for me to tip a few winners, doesn't it?
There we go. I'm going to be with Suleika's Tipster. Hard to look past him, especially with the way the track's running tonight. A lot of inside runners, fast track. I think he'll lead all the way.
1 to beat 2.
All right, 1 to beat 2. Suleika's Tipster and Loxley's Forest are the ones for Gary Wiltshire. We've got a new leader in the Greyhound tipping competition. Tony Howard is leading the way, £10.31. Brodie Summers relegated to second, £10.15. Callum Green, Adam Smart, Sarah Spiller, Lester Smith-Terry, William Easton and Warren Todd are all in behind. So they're going to be heading towards the boxes shortly. Suleika's Tipster very, very short here, but Thor Odinson has got the same mum as a certain Burj Khalifa, who was a very, very impressive greyhound throughout his career. Best turned out, of course, is Suleika's Tipster in the red jacket, paraded by Mark Pierpoint. But Thor Odinson, your nap.
I'm going to go with the 4. I mean, Suleika's Tipster with that early pace. It was so impressive in the heats of the Eclipse. Just edged out by Antica Kestrel in the shadow of the post. Doing same again, goes on to win. No question about that. But Thor Oddinson came out of the English Puppy Derby. Is a really good galloping sort for Chris Faraday. Of course, the kennel's in good form. No better feeling. Going for Dave Titterton, the owner, very proud owner. And as Joe said, the Olympic this week, Greyhound racing, as you well know, it's competition, next competition. And I think he's up against, could be Gunslinger, I think, in that heat on Saturday. Just checking now, it is Thor Oddinson in 3, Gunslinger in 4. I'm to Sydney. I thought might just go to Ireland for the Winter Festival. He's out on Saturday at Hove in the Coral Olympic. After breaking the track record in the Gold Collar final, goes as Gold Collar champion and thoroughly deserves that success. But they are going in hot favourite in Trap 1, but I'm going to go with the ground who I think he's got scope for improvement. Thor Oddinson in 4.
Thor Oddinson, the nap of the night for Hobbsy. He's played it late, but hopefully we are going to sign off with a winner. Well, good luck to whoever you have backed in this final race as we go back once again to the stat man.
I've got a good one from Kevin Hutton, actually, who's tweeted tonight to say Drota's Wildcat, of course, who won the Eclipse, obviously has sired the Eclipse winner this evening, but he also sired the Grand National winner and the Irish Derby winner over the weekend. So he's had a good weekend, old Wildcat. Hares on the move, Salakers Tipster. You could have had a bit of 4 to 7 if you got up early enough. That sounds like a whopping price now. Here's the hare for the join, Gone to the Dogs on X Trophy. Hope you joined at the beginning. They race away and off they go. 5 Mystic Glenhead Sam. Meanwhile, it's Kilgarren getting after Salakers Tipster, who takes about 1.5 lengths into the first bend, however. Then 6 goes third, Crafty Kaboom, and they get away from the remainder as they run down the back straight. And Salakers Tipster, this is one for short odds tipsters. Got about 6 lengths clear then from Crafty Kaboom in second. Then Kilgarren gap back to Thor Odinson in 4th place. But it is Salakers Tipster. It is Peter Harnden, the ex-Nottingham trainer. He's going to send us home with a long odds-on winning favourite and does it in style. 6th second, Crafty Kaboom. 4th, Thor Odinson back in 3rd.
Trap 1, Salakers Tipster lands the odds for Peter Harnden and has won 14 from 38 in his career. Popped out, made all, barely saw another rival. Beat 6, Crafty Kaboom in 2nd, and Thor Odinson did run on for 3rd place. But it was Salakers Tipster's race to lose, and he didn't.
Made the most of the draw, Trap 1. Definitely the place to be this evening, but a Greyhound with the pace of Salakers Tipster has landed the spoils in the lucky last and shrieking clear for Peter Harnden. They'll be delighted with that, but odds of 3 to 10. Not going to get rich backing that, but it was a winner.
A winner's a winner.
Don't tell me that. No, it can't. No, you've had your nap. Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, 2 to 7, thanks. Now here's the replay. We had Kilgarren setting a bit of the early pace, but Salakers Tipster got the draw on the inside, has railed like a good thing around the opening corner and has absolutely bolted clear here, Salakers Tipster. I mean, they just could not land a glove on him, Hobbsy.
No, they couldn't. It'd be interesting to see where they're going to go with Salakers Tipster. You know, he's got so much speed, probably not going to drop him down, but, you know, he's got that sort of sprinter speed, that pace into the first bend, especially on the inside. To be fair, he was a little bit unlucky in the semi-finals. He was out of 4 then, but out of Trap 1 was certainly, things were made a lot easier, and you can see they're out of the boxes. I didn't think he trapped incredibly well, but that pace into the first bend was enough to see him clear.
Well, you also saw for Thor Odinson, he's still just learning on the job at the moment. He's come wide out of the boxes and he's come back into the bend, so I'm not quite sure where he wants to be yet out of the boxes, but he's run a nice race to finish 3rd, but it was all about Salakers Tipster, who's really railed well around those opening corners. We had in 2nd, Crafty Kaboom, who was always up there trying to vie for 2nd place with Kilgarren who was, you know, fast out the boxes. Just couldn't quite match the pace of a couple of others in here. And you look at Thor Odinson, he's Malachy, Love Island. The Love Island progeny seem to be finishing like absolute trains because that's what Burj Khalifa's done as well. But this lad, Salakers Tipster, just absolutely routed him.
Yeah, an impressive winner on what has been a good night's Greyhound racing. And, of course, we celebrate another Greyhound in Trap 1, Romeo Command, winning the big race, the Premier Greyhound Racing Eclipse final. And I think the lads said, you know, very much he wanted to be on the inside, and that has been borne out here, albeit the best Greyhound in the lineup has ended up winning the race, albeit Thor Odinson in Trap 4 ran a decent enough race, and there's more to come from the youngster.
At least he'll have his name on the next screen when we have the result there, Hobbsy, but you've not had a winning nap like me and Daryl have. Trap 1, Salakers Tipster has managed to win and win well. Daryl, the result, please.
The result is a win for Salakers Tipster. Thank you, Danny. At 30 to 100, the favourite here takes the last. Crafty Kaboom was 2nd, Trap 6 at 7 to 1, and Thor Odinson got 3rd place. So 6 winners from Trap 1 tonight. That was the place to be. And of course, that was the place where Romeo Command won the big race from a little bit earlier on this evening.
Superb effort for Salakers Tipster. Yeah, the one boxes, I called plenty of them home here at Nottingham, and it does have one of the best strike rates of any track, really, the Red Jacket here at Notts. So we've been thrilled to be here. It is, of course, Gone to the Dogs Live, brought to you by Star Sports, and there is our final winner of the night, Salakers Tipster, and we can hear from Jason once again.
A brilliant performance to round off the night. Salakers Tipster and the join Gone to the Dogs on X Trophy. I'll go to Mark very, very briefly. Mark, I spoke to you earlier. You said it was a good thing?
Well, he should be winning that race. He's had a little bit of hard luck and much better races over the last few weeks. Would have liked to see him go down last week in the semi-final, but Wicky Ned's on his inside and then shuffled him back, and that's his game over. But like he should be winning a race like that off coming away.
Third, by the way. Third in the Battle of the Hats. Now, in second place, we've got Peter Harnden, the winning trainer. Well done, Peter.
Yeah, he's run well there. Like Mark said, he should win a race like that, and he's run it well. He finds the 500 here a little bit too far, but his pace down the back's just awesome. He's really matured, actually, in the last few weeks.
And Kath ran well earlier on.
Yeah, I had my money on. I was a bit gutted there, to be honest. Them last few strides, but it's the first step up for a long while now, so I think if she'd had a run over it beforehand, she'd have probably won the race, but I thought it was going to be a 6.18 and it was 7.30, so we took a chance.
Nice to be back here having winners, though.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. I was getting a bit of bad luck at one point. I won't get any winners, and I thought, oh dear, it's bad luck on me, but we've seemed to come over that now.
There's been a lot of short price runners tonight. What are the odds on someone else getting that booze off you?
Very short, because I'll have to give this to the missus to keep happy, because I'm out again tonight.
Brilliant, Peter. Thanks very much and well done.
Cheers.
Superb to see Peter Harnden there with his bottle of Prosecco and chocolate as well. I think the missus will be very, very happy with that.
Yeah, I think chocolates and Prosecco have gone down very well on our 8 open races this evening on Gone to the Dog. So it's just a little bit of a treat above and beyond the trophies.
Wonderful. I mean, everybody loves chocolates, don't they? Just before Christmas as well. If you don't want to eat them yourself, you could give them away to somebody for Christmas. But don't be doing that. Enjoy. No, enjoy.
You had a nap that was a decent enough price. Yeah, come on. Be more generous, please.
Now, we had the big race of the night, of course, just after 9 o'clock, and we are going to relive the action because this was sensational from Romeo Command, Darryl.
It was a magical run, wasn't it? And we can't emphasise enough, of course, this Greyhound's longevity, his incredible career. Derby runner-up behind Gate Home Nemo last year. And, you know, he just keeps on delivering, Hobbsy, doesn't he? You know, what is he now, 2 months shy of becoming a veteran?
He's the perfect greyhound, isn't he? He's won so many races, major competitions, you know, bred and owned so proudly by Dave Firmager. And really, this race couldn't have worked out any better for Patrick Jansen's 3. He's got the first 3, which is, you know, some feat. I remember Charlie doing it in a St Ledger, I think the first 4. It has been done before in a Cat 1, we know.
I'm sure Rab McNair's probably had a first 4 at some stage.
You're absolutely spot on there. But yeah, it was a great performance. But fair play to Wiki Ned. I mean, they're going to probably, you know, going obviously back up to the northeast, and they're going to have to think they're slightly unlucky because possibly the draw is counted against them in many ways. But he'll be back. He's a young greyhound.
Yeah.
He's already won plenty of competitions, more to come.
I think the other thing is, of course, we're talking about the Ground of the Year, which is this is obviously always a good guide to Danny. And look, Wiki Ned, whatever's happened tonight, he's going into consideration for that with 3 Category 1. So you know he's still a massive player for the ultimate prize in greyhound racing. Well, behind the Derby, perhaps.
Yeah. No,
He
you're right.
certainly is. Yeah, we'll be waiting to see what happens at the GBGB Awards next year, of course. Right. Our thanks goes once again as well to Emily Wallace and Jason.
Thank you, Danny. It has been a really, really great night here at Nottingham. Really enjoyed catching up with all the connections before and after each race. Romeo Command was a really, really good winner of the Eclipse stake. Jason, he was just so impressive, wasn't he? Would that be the highlight of the night for you?
One of the highlights, I think Ryoka Rashin's performance, particularly after that break, was just simply incredible. But Romeo Command, just beloved by all, I think it's fair to say. And whoever won it, it would have been a great winner, but particularly special.
Next show is going to be at Toaster. You're going to be part of the team. You're looking forward to that one?
I'm looking forward to it immensely. I've got some old friends at Toaster, so I look forward to running into them and, of course, running into you again.
Are you going to bring a coat to Toaster?
I might lose some clothing rather than add to it.
Well, that's all from us. Back to Joe and Gary.
Thank you, Emily. Yeah, fantastic night, girl. What a performance from Romeo Command in the final as well.
Yeah, terrific night for greyhound racing, weren't it, really? As we said earlier, the crowd was a bit low, which was a bit disappointing, but for greyhound racing, for that 20 grand. But the highlight of the night, it can only be one, can't it, when you think of the Patrick Jensen's had the first, second and third. And I said to you earlier, Joe, has it ever been done in a big final before, in a Category 1? I would say it hasn't. Even when Charlie Lister, you know, when King Charlie was about, you know, did he used to have the first, second and third in a big final? I doubt it, Joe, honestly. So it's a question there for your dad on the way home. Ring him up and say, Dad, did any top trainer have the first, second and third in a 20 grand, you know? I can't, I've been at the game a long time, but I can't remember anyone having the first 3.
I can't, and my highlight of the night is definitely Jason Barrison with no coat on, braving that weather out there. It feels about -10 out there.
Yeah, and
it's freezing.
And how about the Bognor Bowls Club? You know, they're saying it's lovely to get him back on the telly. So lovely to get Jason back on the big screen as well. And it's been a good night, hasn't it, really? And where are we going next?
We're off to Toaster. You might see this man in a big red suit, Gal.
Yeah, if I can get a Father Christmas outfit, 6XL or 7XL, I'm going to wear it on the 21st. Is it 21st?
21st, yeah.
21st. But until then, I hope everyone keeps well, keeps safe. I'm jumping on an aeroplane in the morning, so I'm going away for a week. Have a bit of sunshine.
We're not all like him. We'll see Santa Claus in 3 weeks' time.
Our thanks to everyone that has made this show what it is, of course, as we were alluded to there. We are off to Toaster. Well, gents, I'm off to Toaster.
Yeah, look, 50-50, myself and Daryl. We haven't told Mrs. Williams and Mrs. Hobbs, but, you know, we might be there, but we might be away, Daryl.
We might not be there, Danny, but if we can, we will.
Yeah, I think we're going to wheel in 2 better people, maybe?
Yeah,
I'm
of
not
course.
Sure. Super
Younger.
subs.
Well, we have had an award that I feel we should be giving out tonight, and that is for the best newcomer on this programme tonight. And I'm giving it to Jason Beresford. I think he's the only newcomer on the programme tonight, but he deserves it.
He does deserve it. He does indeed. Now, that is the date, Saturday, 21st of December, live from Toaster. It's the Christmas Bonanza featuring the Bet365 Puppy Oaks. Pat Cooney has made sure that it's not on a Sunday.
Yep.
It is on
Fair play
our
to him.
Christmas Bonanza.
It's going to
So
be great.
Thank you so much to Pat.
£3,000, I think, the major races. I think 8 of them, one-off contests, almost on a par with the Night of Stars. That's what they're going to try and do there, which would be great. Christmas Bonanza, but of course the Bet365 Puppy Oaks is a showpiece event. Right?
Now, just to say as well, we had the Gone to the Dogs tipping competition that was free to enter. We do them in every single show, and it has gone the way of Brodie Summers, who takes the big prize of £250, £10.45 profit. Tony Howard in second place with £9.31, and Callum Green, £9.02 was back in third. So we will be in contact. Thank you so much for joining us here on Gone to the Dogs Live, brought to you by Star Sports. It is a good night from Nottingham Greyhound Stadium.